Oh wait, I linked my stream. Hold on, let me remake this post.
Whoa.
Okay, my bad. I'm just so used to it, okay? Fuck.
Oh wow.
Okay, look, you didn't
Fucking
tell me.
Marine.
All right. Let me.
He's got mod.
Nice.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Night Pie. I've got Montesumo, iMarine, Filter, and Lynchkin with me tonight. We're going to be talking a little bit, I guess, to start it off with about growing your stream, growing your audience, and that sort of thing on Twitch or whatever service that you're using. Obviously, all of us use Twitch because it is the service that's out there. So. The best service anyway. So anyway, I guess I'll kind of leave the floor to you guys to start it off.
Start with the noob. I'm Lynchkin. I'm a Platinum Terran. I started playing StarCraft 2 since last June. And I've been watching TumescentPie since October of 2012. That's how I know him, yeah. Alright.
Cool.
Alright, I'm at iMarine TV. I've been streaming for the last 6 months and playing Protoss for the last 6 months as well. I'm currently mid-master with 1100 points, and usually here on Twitch I stream with commentary. Except with less viewers. I don't get as many as to him, unfortunately.
I guess I'll jump in front of Montezuma because he's trash. I'm at Filter StarCraft. A lot of people know me from my YouTube channel where I kind of teach Terrans how to play the game properly and deal with some of the Protoss cheese that's out there. That's basically it. I do my own streaming and stuff like that too. I'm 11, 30 point Masters Terran, so I'm half decent at the game, but I have a long way to go.
Good evening. My name's Montesumo, and I'm a GM Protoss. I beat Cats today, cheating, hacked.
Are you getting away with this? Letting you do it?
Well, yeah,
And,
I mean, there's not really a lot of difference between.
And I got this.
You're talking way too close to your microphone. But yeah, we'll let him get away with being a GM Protoss, even though we all know that he's I don't know, low bronze or silver.
If you check out Montezuma's stream, he's actually a diamond Protoss.
High silver. High silver.
But I mean, there's not really a lot of difference between a silver Protoss and a Grandmaster Protoss.
I would no. You can say silver and diamond, not much difference. I actually agree with that wholeheartedly.
You just kind of
not
move
even
forward,
trolling.
let everything take care of itself.
Alright, well, we control Protoss players later.
Yeah, definitely.
It's easy.
Easy. So anyway, basically, I mean, as far as requirements to stream, what's everybody rocking as far as their computer? What are you guys using? Anything?
I've got a GTX
amazing?
670 with an i5 3570K and a 128 Intel or Samsung SSD and like 16 gigabytes of Kingston HyperX RAM, along with a ridiculous power supply. It's like 800 watts. Because I was originally gonna put more than one GPU in it, but now I don't really need that.
So I got a MacBook,
Oh God,
and that's all right. Next person.
you have a MacBook.
Yes, MacBook Pro 15-inch, the mid 2012 version.
Nice. I use a laptop. It's not a Mac. Mac is overpriced garbage.
Hey,
Thank you,
I
Montezuma.
figured that
Thank
out
you.
until after I bought it.
Yeah. Well,
What do you mean? How do you not know? It's like what?
I think you need to scrap
$2,000?
it ASAP.
Like,
Because I wasn't a nerd. I was like, why the fuck is everyone buying a MacBook? I guess I'll buy one too. So I bought the
wait,
most
wait, wait.
expensive
Hold on.
Actually, yeah.
Let's back up. Hold on. You paid your own money for a MacBook?
Yes.
Oh God, I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, we're all sorry here for you.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Can we just can we take a moment? Let's everyone take a knee.
Everybody just
As much fun as everybody's making of them, like there's a lot of good upside to MacBooks. So
for streaming though. Like, do you?
not
But
for
I do-
streaming. Like I would
I
never.
am running
I
Windows
wouldn't
on
use a
my Mac.
MacBook for streaming.
Yeah.
They're no laptop really is that great for streaming. It's just gonna burn it out. But like Apples and MacBooks and stuff in general are pretty good.
Oh yeah,
People
as far
hate on
as-
them so much, but they're
As far as like media creation, there's nothing that you can really compare it to. I mean, the Macs are great for it. I mean, that's part of why they use those for making South Park. That is definitely that is their forte, is building media that you're gonna show off. But I don't know about streaming media or gaming. I don't think those are the wheelhouses for Mac. So Filter, what are you rocking?
my computer's pretty basic. I was originally using like an old i7-860 and I burnt it out. So I was like, all right, well, time to buy new hardware. So just a 2500K, 8 gigs of RAM, graphics card's a 560 Ti, and just overclock on the CPU. And I can get with no lag in game, I can get 720p, 60 FPS pretty easily. So
Yeah,
doesn't take like a supercomputer. I know a lot of people are using the current gen Intel stuff, which is really good, but
Yeah, because what I've put together is an i7-3770K with two GeForce 660 Ti's. I've got 12 gigs of RAM, a 520 gig solid state drive, and
Whoa! Wow, 520 gigs.
no, I'm sorry, it's a 120 gig.
I was about to say,
Intel
I was like,
Series
geez.
520. That'd be
I was
awesome.
like, oh my
Where do you get a
God.
520 gig solid state drive? And how many $1,000 did you spend for it? No, it's only 120 gig. Sorry, just
The
model
520
number.
series though, right?
Yeah, it's a 520 series,
Yeah, same.
and then an 850 watt power supply. So I think that we all have a little bit different, at like definitely a scale of computers there. So it looks like pretty much anything can work. I mean, as long
I
as
think the only thing I'm winning on is power supply, because I have 1,000 watt that I used when I was doing Crossfire and stuff, which I don't do anymore, but you just pull your power supply and drag it through your new builds.
definitely.
So,
What's more
way too much
important?
power,
Is it-
but whatever.
Is it CPU speed or RAM? For
CPU
streaming or
is
internet?
by far the most important part of your computer
Yeah.
for streaming.
Yeah, that's where your streaming program's gonna
And most
live.
importantly, you're gonna need or a quad core. You have to have a quad core.
Yeah,
to
I
stream.
would definitely recommend a quad core. Anything less is just gonna give you problems. StarCraft mostly runs in your graphics card. I mean, that's where most of everything that's happening in StarCraft happens.
No, isn't
Actually,
StarCraft
to
a
be a
highly
nerd about it-
CPU-based game? Like it's the CPU is a lot in StarCraft too.
Yeah,
you
the
can run.
CPU is the big deal on StarCraft.
Yeah.
You can, but it only
GPU
takes
is not that
two.
important.
It only takes two cores.
It
It's
does
not-
only use 2 cores, but if you have like an older generation quad core, it'll actually struggle a lot with StarCraft 2 because it is so CPU intensive.
Yeah.
Whereas like an older generation quad core would actually be like okay for streaming, but
Sorry, I guess I misstated that. It's processor intensive for the two cores that it's using, but other than that, you can set just those two cores if you mess around with Affinity, and then allow StarCraft to run only on those two cores, and then take basically everything off of those two cores and just let StarCraft have those, and then it doesn't really use anything at all on your computer, except for your graphics card.
Hey, can I just say something real quick? Hey, Lynch, can you like pass me a slice? That looks so good.
Sure.
Is that Papa John? That's Papa John's.
It's Pizza Hut.
What?
I
Yeah.
looked. Yeah, it looked like Little Caesars, but I guess I could see that.
It really
Oh
looks like
my
Papa
gosh.
John's. Wow.
Oh, that definitely ain't no New York pizza though. That's the that's that frozen stuff.
But definitely would like Papa John's as a sponsor. Do you just tweet them and hook that up like Cats does, or?
Yeah, dude, I thought that's what they were going to be announcing, a sponsor. And when they announced their sponsor was a company that makes cards in a pack of like 250 that no one is ever going to buy, I was kind of disappointed. Because, I mean, the idea is nice, but the fact that the only package they have is like 250, unless I'm misstating this, but let me check. What's the thing called? You guys know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
It's kind of a cool idea, but it's like pretty.
It's a
niche.
cool idea, but yeah, 250 cards as a minimum? That's kind of insane.
I wouldn't even like. I don't know. It's a weird idea. Yeah, whatever. I'm glad the Papa John's thing didn't work out. Otherwise, like it would have been.
Why?
So everybody here
I'm
calls
not
Heimer-
glad for Root. I'd be much happier for Root if they got like a big sponsorship, obviously. But I'm glad that kind of technique didn't work. So it would have set a pretty bad precedent.
Yeah, everybody would just constantly be reaching out to sponsors through Twitter. That's all you would see for the next year. If that happens once, if that works once on a big profile, you'll just see it over and over again every day.
I think companies are going to start figuring out though that like esports is extremely cheap to get into, and you can get a ton of exposure for your products, and it's all like positive. EG is obviously the best at it, but people just underestimate it. Like even a small time person like me, like between my YouTube channel and my stream, like there's 1 million views right there. To get that kind of number even on just like a radio ad, like would be impressive, right? So.
But even more than what a radio ad's going to give you. A radio ad is an unfocused, unfiltered, just I'm blasting out this commercial and hoping that people see it and hear it and like respond to it. When you sponsor a streamer, there's a connection, right? Most of the streamers have more of a connection to their audience, so it's a targeted product. You can relate to it a lot easier, especially if your streamer's using that product and talking about it often during the stream. I think it's a lot more than just a 30-second commercial.
Oh yeah, people ask me all the time what hardware I use, right?
Can I ask a question?
So using that kind of stuff. So.
Can you explain the whole partner process? What's the average time? How does it work? Where do connections come in? And I mean, because looking at the application, first of all, there's no way that I'd probably ever apply for it, just because I don't think I'll ever get the viewer count. But just looking at the application, it looks so simple. There's only like really one part of it that you actually have to write something, and it looks like there's a word limit or something. You know, the box is kind of small. So
yeah, it's like basically what happened for me is because I'm with Quantic Gaming, and I've been with them for a long time, since before they dissolved. And then when I came back, my popularity and stuff was obviously still there. So stayed with the team, came back into the fold type deal. Quantic's done a lot of good things in terms of promoting me and that kind of stuff. In terms of Twitch.tv, like being with Quantic, it's basically as simple as asking Mark or one of the higher up guys, "Hey man, can you like get me hooked up with partner program?" And then talking to the guys on Skype. That was my experience with it. I still had to fill out the application, but that's about it.
how long did it take you from start to finish?
About a day.
Huh, wow.
Because it was literally filling out the application so they have it on record, and then doing the contract. So, and like I didn't care that much about the contract. Like I have stuff for there's some stuff in the contract that maybe I would have liked to change and things like that. But Twitch isn't like a major thing for me, so it's not too bad. And like my contract's not like, I know there's some other streamers that have got partnerships through other partner programs, kind of like how YouTube used to work, that get screwed pretty hard on in terms of their income and stuff. But for me, it's fine. That being said, like even if I'm getting like 300 or 400 people viewing my stream, which happens occasionally, it's nothing more than like lunch money, right? So for like anybody that's watching, or like obviously you guys stream, I don't know if any of you guys have partners. The big difference for me is I'm able to have encoding and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tooms gets it.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
transcoding turned on way back. So
Yeah,
obviously
so
I
like
was-
in your case you're fine, right? And like donations are, I don't know if a lot of people know it, but donations are a huge source of, because for somebody like me, part of the reason I'm going to have a webcam at the end of the month and stuff like that is because I'm going to try to do StarCraft full time, right? That's what I want to do. And donations are a huge part of that. So if you are watching a streamer and you like what they're doing, they help you out, they're talking, like donating to their stream or donating to them directly is infinitely more valuable than a lot of different revenue sources they're going to get.
My guess
So-
is that there are streamers that are making 50 to 60 or more percent of their revenue through just the donation. That's where most of their money's coming from.
Guaranteed. Even the big guys that are making a lot of money on advertising and stuff are going to do a lot through donations. Obviously not people like DeMuslim, but somebody like Maximus Black gets enough viewership to probably just live off his streaming revenue alone. But I'm sure donations are probably double what he makes that way.
What do
And
you?
it's a big deal.
What makes more, YouTube or Twitch? What pays better?
Per viewer?
In terms of CPC?
Well, I guess in general,
Twitch-
if you're comparing apples to apples, like if your Twitch, if your Twitch stream is getting 300 to 400, like yours, and your YouTube is getting something comparable, I don't know, like 15 or 10 to 15K views per video or something like that. What would make more if you could equal them out? I mean, is one better than the other? Like Max Black, he does both. But
Yeah.
where, aside from his donations, where is he getting most of his revenue?
I do both as well. My YouTube's way bigger than my stream, right? So YouTube's way bigger percentage for me than my stream would be. But it's CPC on YouTube, which is cost per click, is a lot different than Twitch. So with YouTube, like you can get an ad served to somebody who lives in Russia, for example, but that ad is not going to be worth very much at all, right? Whereas if you get an ad served to somebody in America, it's going to be worth a lot more. Now, how Twitch works is instead of serving that really cheap ad to that guy in Russia and giving you that small percentage, Twitch is a flat rate. So they just won't serve an ad to that guy in Russia. He just won't see one. So you kind of cut a little bit of your demographic off. The nice thing about Twitch, though, is it's a little more... it's always the same. Like my deal is a flat rate. So if Twitch gets better payments for advertising, big months like November, December for Twitch is going to make more money than I would, right? Because it's not a 50-50 split. But if Twitch is having a hard time getting like good advertisers, then I'll make more of the cut than Twitch would, right? Whereas with YouTube, it's you get a huge percentage of what the advertisers are actually paying. So it doesn't really answer the question directly, but they're both pretty similar. YouTube's just a lot less stable. Like right now, there's no good games coming out or anything, so my YouTube channel is down a huge percentage compared to what it was last month when StarCraft Heart of the Swarm came out, right?
Also, I would say that it's about 1 billion times easier to get noticed on Twitch and to grow a Twitch stream, especially to the 400 to 1,000 viewer area, than it is to get into the hundreds of thousands of YouTube views that you need to make any kind of money. I would say that YouTube, especially with their new format, with the new layout, as far as trying to get noticed on that format and trying to build an audience, is like climbing Mount Everest with no tools and a boulder strapped to the back. It's almost impossible for most people to fathom what you need to do. Even if you follow all of the old guides on content creation and like following a schedule and doing all those types of things, it's really, really hard to get your YouTube videos noticed.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what
that's
game
very
you're
true.
playing, because like I've only ever uploaded like 3 YouTube videos or 3 important ones, and they all have almost 100,000 views. So, but that's back when I played Call of Duty. So it's about the game.
Yeah, it's partially about the game, and I would say that if you were going to try to do that today, you're going to have a hard time hitting 100,000 views. How many subscribers do you have right now?
I have 360.
Right, so with your 360 subscribers, you're going to get like 40 views if you upload a video, and I don't care what game it is. I mean,
Yeah.
you could do it on League of Legends, which has the biggest viewer base, or you can do it on StarCraft or whatever. You're going to have a hard time getting a huge viewer count, and it's because of the way the front page of YouTube is working right now. Before, it used to show smaller streams, and now it shows, it just shows more of the established guys.
YouTube almost never really showed smaller guys. Like, to gain any success on YouTube, you have to do something a little bit different or a lot better than what other people are doing. And it's like a huge percentage is luck, right?
Yeah.
If you,
I mean, if you know how to work the
it's
system.
so competitive, and there's so many different people that are trying to put content out there. They're like, at the end of the day, like, you know, like me, Monty, and Imarine, we're all like, in terms of StarCraft, we're all like top 1 or 2% of the player base, right? But at the same time, in the grand scheme of StarCraft, we're all like basically garbage at the game
Yeah, pretty
compared
much.
to what everybody else could do, right? So
It's
why would
because
somebody want to
yeah,
sit there and listen and understand like what makes me unique? It's like you look at the streams on Twitch, and every single person's high master, right? And they have like 8 viewers, and it's the same with YouTube. Like you really have some reason for people to watch you above and beyond, just being a little bit better at the game than other people.
yeah. There's like a lot of people that are like low viewership, and I watch them, and they don't even like talk or commentate their games. So I think
Oh, exactly.
if you, as long as you use commentary and you're like high master, low GM, like I think you can easily pull like 100, 200 viewers if you like consistently stream. I think if a lot of like I watch a lot of GMs that stream that because they don't commentate, they only get like 20 viewers. But if they did commentate, I bet they would get like a retarded amount of viewers.
You know
You know
what's
what I mean?
funny, Imarine? So I think that you are probably one of the first, if not the first streamer to do, you know, the in-depth commentary of a game. And there's no question that you do that.
Yeah.
There's a kid, Winter, you know, the kid that plays random. He's high master
Yeah.
random. He, right after you started that, I think he started that, and I started noticing, you know, his titles were, you know, in-depth analysis every game or something. And I was like, yeah, that's basically straight out of the Imarine book.
Yeah,
But-
I noticed that on Reddit. Everyone was doing it after I did it. Because, I mean, I had, like, crazy growth. I went from, like, 0 to, like, 100 viewers consistently in, like, a week. So it was good. It's good that Winter picked up on that. Because his stream gets, like, a lot of viewers now. He averages,
Yeah.
like, 150.
I think that's a really good, you know, I mean, guys like you who can do that, Tooms can do that too, Filter, like that's genius, being able to commentate while paying attention. Micro, baby, you know. So it's impressive.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It makes a big difference. Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, I was gonna say it's definitely a lot more than just watching a game. Anybody can watch a bot play a game, right? So you could just watch two AIs like slug it out. If you put them on very hard, you're gonna see like really cool micro. They're gonna do a really good job. But yeah, like, who wants to watch that? And when you're watching somebody who's even a Kespa Pro or a very high level pro player, and all they do is just grind that game. Like for instance, J-Dong, when he first started streaming, yeah, he got like 10,000 views, but that's because nobody had seen him play. Nobody had seen him ever stream. That was the first time that they had done it, and he doesn't stream for 3 months, and then he does it again. So I don't think it's as entertaining to watch because you don't have the human element.
Oh, totally. And like, none of us play like J-Dong, right? We're not gonna pull viewers for being that good.
Right.
Excuse me?
Okay, sorry,
Well,
Montezuma
I mean-
might be able to do it.
If I switched to Zerg, I'm pretty sure I could beat
If I
you.
played Zerg and Wings of Liberty, I would have been GM. Absolutely.
Just saying. Yeah. Same.
I think Grandmaster was basically like 150 Zergs at the end of Wings, but
How
just at
how?
the point.
We
How
have
long
three.
do you-
Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
Oh no, sorry, Lynch, you go. I didn't even heard you.
I was just gonna say we have 3 Terran players in this video chat, and there's 2 Protoss. So really, I think we should talk about how we all hate Protoss. That's just
3
my.
versus 2, Protoss will easy.
Oh
you
yeah,
guys
let's
any day.
talk about the TVP PVT matchup.
Yeah.
Filter go.
Why do
I
they
hate
need
that
both?
Here,
Yeah, no,
let's try again.
everybody's heard tunes on that. I don't know if you followed my stream, you've heard me commentate it on a lot. And it's not unique to Terran versus Protoss. I think it's a lot more. Protoss has a ton of design flaws within the race itself. In terms that Protoss is going to have build order losses. If you go and play a bunch of games, like you're going to lose to stuff that just kills what you were trying to do. You don't really have any way to prevent that. Whereas with Terran, with good information, you can prevent pretty much anything. It's not a big deal. I like Montezuma's webcam.
I mean, if you play a super safe standard Protoss, like you don't have build order losses, you just have like really horrible builds to hold, but you can still hold them if you play perfectly. It's hard to hold. I don't like if you open one Getafe, like we talked about this before this guy pod, you don't have a build order loss. You just are at a disadvantage against certain builds. It's just hard to
But that
hold.
disadvantage is pretty extreme. The problem doesn't really show up even when like we ladder. The problem starts to show up when you start seeing like Korean Terrans mulling through tournaments, right? because those guys will know what the Protoss build order is entirely off one scout, be able to counter it out. And then when it does get to late game, the Protoss player doesn't have an answer to a Terran player with good micro. Like you just there's no answer for you. If I outplay you, if I micro perfectly, you're done. If I make a mistake and I have the wrong comp, like it's different, but
yeah.
Harder, Ghost EMP or High Templar Storm micro battle. What's harder than
against a good Terran?
Difference. Go ahead, Marie.
Well, I mean, it just like if you're actually not wanting to get your stuff EMP'd against a good Terran, it's actually really hard to land storms. You have to have like gotta kind of hide High Templar like in other locations, so they come from out of nowhere, so they don't EMP. Because of like mid High Master Terrans don't really miss EMPs that often. So I mean, it's not easy for the
EMP is easier. It's an easier spell to land. But the problem is with Storm, like if you land one good Storm, the Terran player loses the game.
I always thought EMP was easier because they have the extra range.
Yeah,
thank you, Lynch.
It's only one extra range.
EMP is definitely easier to land. It's just a case of you can't miss any Templar, and you have to storm the You have to EMP the Templar twice. He only has to land one Storm on your army.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
In addition to that, the Storm is a persistent spell that does space control. The EMP is an instant effect spell. So they have two different feeling results. If you throw out a storm, even if that storm doesn't touch anything, it has done a job. It prevents units from being able to move into that space. So you cannot do the same thing with an EMP. So it has two effects.
If I hit my EMP on basically only your Templar and like your sentries, I can just push into your army with my Vikings, pick off your Colossus, cut your Zealots, and win. Because my Marines are just going to do more damage than anything in your army.
Yeah.
And kill you. If you land a Storm that kills all my Marines, I don't have any damage in my army, and I'm going to lose the fight. Right? Why? And it's only one Storm to do that, essentially.
Why I mean, I think Toombs raised a pretty good question. I heard this probably maybe 50 times by now. And it's a serious question. Why do Protoss need both Colossus and Storm?
Are you kidding, or
is it possible to have one or the other?
No.
If you only had Colossus and Guardian Shield and Charge Lots, even Archons, you're not going to hold a Terran Bio Ball like ever. You're just going to auto lose the game without Storm.
If you
have to have a way to trade efficiently with Terran. If you don't have Storm, you can't trade efficiently at all.
Okay, so if let's say you only have Colossus, Terran makes a few Vikings and has to make Marines and Marauders, and then they max out, and then you die because you're going to lose your Colossus to the Vikings, and then you have no AOE. So now you cannot kill Marines. You cannot kill Marine Marauder.
Well, in like that early 12 or 13 minute game state, it's okay to have one or the other. You don't need both. Because if for instance you just have Colossus, the Terran has to get the right number of Vikings. His medevac count is going to be low because he just doesn't have the economy. So you're still going to be able to trade okay. It's once you start getting to like that 18, 19 minute mark where you need both.
Yeah.
You absolutely
once
need
it hits
both
like 13 minutes, like there's like that's why a lot of Terrans pull their SCVs, because there's a period in time where you don't have Storm, and if you pull all your SCVs, you can just raffle stomp a Protoss because they don't have enough AoE.
Yeah, right before 1430.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason you see GSL Terrans do that is because it does take it's going to hit the Protoss really, really hard, and you can usually just push them over and win the game. And the flip side of that too is even with like the really high level Korean Terran level micro, one Storm can end you the game. It's not a consistent thing. It's not even really a skill thing. It's just the fact that the Protoss got the one Storm off. And I don't mean that in like a Protoss players are bad sense. It's just it really doesn't come down to like the more skilled player. It's so volatile that like if all the Terran EMPs hit, the Protoss player just gets like mashed over. If somebody hits a good Storm, like the Terran player then just gets rolled over, and it's so volatile. So a Terran player would rather try to end the game when they have control of the situation, so to speak. So they know what your army composition is. They know they can run it over with like SCVs and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it's one Storm, but yeah, it can definitely snowball very quickly. Maybe 2 Storms. I don't think 1 is enough, unless it's just amazing. It has to be a money Storm if it's going to be 1 Storm.
I mean, if the Terran's not paying attention, 1 Storm.
1 Storm will kill all of the Marines.
Yeah, but I mean, like a mid-master, you're going to be splitting your Marines against Storm, so I mean...
Well, yeah, as long as something like a zealot drop hasn't happened, or they're back home making something because they thought your
Well, I
army
mean,
was a
like,
little
if
bit
you're
farther
doing
up.
War Prism Harass with Zealots while you're having a late game engagement as a Protoss player, then you're really fucking stupid. Because your army is going to be, like, 8 to 10 supply lower, and you're just going to lose the fight. I mean, I don't know why you would do that.
Well, it depends. I mean, it does happen. So
Well, like
Well-
part of the right way to do the zealot harass is like before you start maxing out. If you're not too worried about a Terran drop, if you just run like 8 zealots into the Terran base, and then like you don't want to actually engage the Terran army at all.
Right.
Like
yeah.
you want to make them deal with that, and when their reinforcements are tied up after the zealots die, then you have that warping available to you in the fight. And the Terran's army, because of the way it reinforces, is going to be bottled up at home. The Terran army is actually a lot smaller in that situation, regardless of the damage you do. So
Yeah, I mean,
that's one of the-
if you want
one
to
of
be
the main
warping
problems
in
with it.
while you're engaging a Terran, I think the only good way to do it is just to warp in 40T, send them to each base, and then engage the Terran. And they'll be so busy worrying about every single base in the map that maybe it'll be okay. But yeah, I would definitely recommend just not engaging a Terran if you're doing any kind of harass. Because
Yeah,
while people
these
think
sets-
no,
like,
I'm
the
not saying that
DP
you
stuff is good, but-
make the engagement right away. I'm saying you storm his army while he's distracted. So the distraction happens with with a handful of zealots or DTs or whatever you warp in. It doesn't really matter. And then while he's distracted, as soon as he looks away from his army, you drop a storm on it. When he
If
looks
you have
back
enough
at his
Templar, you can do it.
Yeah.
But you really only pull like the 1 or 2 Templar forward to do the storm. The rest of your army has to stay back.
and then as soon as the Terran player looks back, even if they double click a hotkey and get back to their army, they've already taken 20 damage on all
Wait,
of the
what's a hotkey?
right?
let's talk about that.
No, let's not talk about that.
Your army.
That's a
Oh.
great question, Imarine. Tooms, that seriously though. I mean, I look at every time I watch a stream, those first 4 buttons are blank. I'm just wondering why.
You want me to put command centers on there or something? What do you want me to do there?
No, okay, look.
Do it Artosis style.
But let's be honest, we all joined the Saturday Night Pie. This is an intervention about hotkeys, and we want you to just get better, okay? We know you've been kind of ill and you haven't been hotkeying anything. We just want to help you, okay?
I don't.
Speak your feelings, my friend.
I don't think that that'd be fair to my opponent. I think that Terran's really overpowered right now, and if I started using hotkeys, I mean, it's not okay. I mean, it just absolutely isn't okay. I want to make the game as fair as I can. So
No, but I've seen you put. The only time I've ever seen a hotkey was when you were playing Zerg and you put 3 mutas. You had about 15 mutas at the time. You put 3 mutas on hotkey number 1,
yeah,
and
you
that
only need
lasted
3.
for about 2 minutes, and then they died, and then that was it.
Well, yeah. Why would I want that after that? I mean, come on. As you noticed, I put units on a hotkey. The units died. Clearly, putting them on a hotkey was not good for them.
Somebody also mentioned that this is boring without having a Zerg, but the reason we don't have a Zerg is because all they have to do against Terran is make Ultralisks and A-move, and then against Protoss they just make a ton of Mutalisks and the Protoss dies.
Or they can make swarm hosts, but they don't have to because they can make mutas.
That's
Well,
something
they
annoying.
have that,
PvZ. Like, I'll open 4 Phoenix, and they'll fucking go Meta and not give
Yes.
fucks. Like,
Yes.
If you,
What the hell?
Yeah, if you've ever,
Yeah,
if you
that
guys
is
know who
just-
Loco is, I've talked with him a ton about this because like, I don't have TBZ. I think is Terran favored right now.
well, yeah.
ZVP is definitely Protoss or Zerg favored though.
ZVP?
You literally you just go mute it and you don't care if they don't respond to Gate Stargate, they die. And if they do respond to Gate Stargate, they can't kill you. So like,
Dude,
whatever.
there was this game I played. I opened up 4 Phoenix. I actually opened up 6 Phoenix for whatever reason. I guess I derped. I flew my Phoenix into his base. He was on 2 base. Flew my Phoenix into his base. I killed a queen. Kid started to pop mass muta. I saw him accumulating. I ran back. I threw down a second Stargate. I must have had maybe 20 Phoenix. He runs into my main with maybe 30 muta and kills every probe at my main. Every single probe. I was on 3 base. He killed every probe at my main.
Wait, hold on. Did you have the range
Still
upgrade?
case of being bad.
I didn't have the range upgrade. I was
Well, there you
pumping
go.
up. I was just researching it as he hit me. And I didn't have enough Phoenix. Like that
You don't
bounce
need
shit.
Look, okay, the whole double Stargate thing. As long as you get range, you don't need double Stargate. Like if you have 8 Phoenix with range, like you're fine. You can kill like 100,000 Muta, as long as you're not clumsy. So, the thing about Muta is if Zerg kills one of your Phoenix after you like go do your harass, like they're gonna go Muta, most likely. Like everyone does it to me. And then if you don't actually notice that and you're left with like 2 or 3 Phoenix, then you're kind of fucked. But I mean, as long as you maintain your Phoenix count and get the range, like it's not too difficult. It's just annoying because you shouldn't go
You're
Muta.
still pretty dead.
No, I mean if you have range, like you can kite Mutas for days, even if they have corruptors. As long as you scout that, like, and get blink with your stalkers, you should be okay.
Yeah, but all they have to do is like kill your probes, which doesn't take very long. Like that's literally all they're trying to do for, and you have to fight that off for like 3 or 4
Right, but I
minutes.
mean, if you kill 30 probes in my main and I kill 30 of your mutas, I don't really care about those probes.
But you're
'cause
not
you
going to
just
kill the
lost.
30 mutas, because what he's going to
No,
do
I
is
mean,
he's
once you
gonna-
have range, like, you can chase the mutas down, like, they can't escape. Like, if you get into range of mutas and you have ranged Phoenix, like, the mutas can't leave. All of them die.
What do you guys
You
think
just
about
chase
Storm
them.
versus Mutas?
It's
It's
like
horrible.
the Hellion Zergling micro thing though, because when you're chasing the mutas, like you basically have to click behind and then attack, and that's how you're gonna get your attacks. If you
Yeah.
just flip turns on you, all of a sudden all your Phoenix are right in the middle.
Well, yeah,
of those
you have to
mutas.
be really careful about it. You have to stay a certain distance and be ready for that. Because,
And if he
again,
splits
if you're
the
clumsy...
mutas...
No, it does not. It doesn't matter about splitting the mutas as long
No,
as
he
they're
can
engaged.
split the mutas Brood War style, and then once he does that, I mean, I don't think that many Zergs do that, but once he does that, you're gonna have a harder time chasing down the individuals. So you'll get the 1 or 2 mutas, but as they start to split into different directions, you're not gonna get them all.
Fuck Mutas.
I mean, the only problem I have is when they go Muta, but they have like 10 to 12 corruptors, and I don't scout the corruptors, and then it's like, that is really hard to deal with because Phoenix get raped by corruptors, so that's hard. You have to avoid rays and blank stalkers, and that's difficult to
Well,
scout.
my problem with it isn't even so much that it's like I do think the mutas are definitely OP in ZBT right now for sure, but my main problem is there's really only like 1 or 2 responses you can do to it. You're not left with many options, and you're in a lot of trouble. On the flip side, for Zerg, like Zerg can scout you going Phoenix and Stargate, and they don't care. They just go Muta anyway.
Yeah, I mean, hypothetically, like if I scout Muta every time when I go Phoenix, and I know they're making Muta and I get the range, like you're at a builder to loss if you make like 10 Muta, because those 10 Mutas are gonna die to my Phoenix. But the thing about it is, even if they go Spire, like you have no idea if they're going Corruptors or Muta because they could go both, and then it's hard to know what they're making. At least for me, like I can't tell.
That's the thing, yeah. You know, you could go for Phoenix opening, right? Scare them, you think you're going to get Hydras. They might show like a few Hydras, a few Roach, and they'll bait you, you know, they'll do a head fake Hydra, and then they'll just get 30 Mutas and just shit on your face. You know?
Well,
like
even
that's that head fake. That'll kill most Protoss who do Stargate openings.
even the really common build right now, which is where you open with like Lings and a ton of Hydra, and then switch into Muta, like that's pretty hard to deal with too for a Protoss player.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Like
what I
there's
see.
just that's you're gonna see that all the time, and when you see it done like at a really high level, it looks pretty unstoppable.
I mean, pretty much the only games where I see Muta, like if I lose even 1 Phoenix, like they're gonna Muta me. Like it's just gonna happen. But as long as I have good Phoenix control and I show them that I can dominate them with my Phoenix and I don't lose any Phoenix even to Hydras, like and I go home, usually they don't make Mutas. But as soon as you start losing Phoenix during your harass, like Zerg is almost always gonna go Muta. Because you don't have any like anti-Muta things. I mean, Blink Stalkers are okay, but
It would be nice if there was like the Blink Stalker option, if there was the Storm option, if you had other ways to deal with it.
I wish that Templars, or not, Tempest had Splash.
Yeah.
that would
It's
be broken as fuck.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that would
that's,
literally
that's
be
why
so
they
broken.
don't, but
Yeah.
they're
Even
already
just watching
borderline.
like high level game with like if for whatever reason the Protoss player's not able to go Phoenix, and the Zerg player does go for like the mass Muta play, you land like 2 storms right on top of all the on top of all the Mutas, and they fly away in 1 minute. They're back at full health.
Yeah.
And
I
like
mean, if
trying
anyone
even
ever-
just landing those 2 storms is hard. Let alone the fact that they just fly away and they're still full health.
Has anyone ever watched Root Sage? Like the way he deals with Muta, like he pretty much plays perfectly. So like when he plays against Muta, he always wins. I don't know if you guys like know Root Sage, but like his Muta or his Phoenix play against Muta is fucking amazing. If we all play like that, like Muta's, people would stop doing it. But
So what you're
Thing is,
saying is
like,
we all have to be
Is
Korean.
yeah is Sage in America right now, or is he still in Korea?
I don't know. But he had like a ridiculous win rate on NA, but he got kicked out of GM for inactivity because it's bonus full.
Yeah, the same thing with Polt. Like Polt plays North America GM, and his win rate against Zerg is 100%.
Yeah, what is he like 95 and 8 or something?
He's 89%. He's like 100 and something something in 13.
Yeah, that's yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Can I ask a question to the chat, and I guess everybody here in the Skype? Are carriers useless? Are carriers worth it? I mean, if Blizzard took them out of the game, would it be a big deal? I mean, people would bitch, but would it be a big deal?
It's only a legacy unit. I mean, in my opinion,
I haven't made any carriers in all of Heart of the Swarm in 1v1 at all.
I would say that the Tempest and the Colossus serve both of those roles and do a better job at it.
You're saying what? Just useless, or?
Well, as far as what does a carrier do? What does a carrier add to your army?
I mean,
So-
nothing. It's just like bulky, expensive.
Right.
It's
so,
like having a diamond bracelet if you're living, in like the trailer park. Like,
yeah,
it's
and
just
that's what I'm
there.
saying is that it's why not get a Tempest? If you can build a carrier, you can build a Tempest. So what would be the reason to get a carrier instead of a 15 range unit?
Do you know why carriers suck so much?
you
There's
can't
two
micro them
units in the
anymore?
game. Well, that's one reason, but there's 2 units in the game that make carriers suck. The 2 units are the Marine and the Colossus. And this is going to sound crazy, but the way the carrier works, the carrier actually has higher damage than Marines in terms of supply efficiency, and Marines are the most supply efficient unit for damage in the game outside of the carrier. And so the carrier, like, it does a ton of damage, but the problem with the carrier is that it's air, and then it kind of works like the Marine with all the interceptors flying around, right? And everything in the game is designed to kill Marines really, really fast, so they're not OP and broken, or kill Colossus really fast, so they're not OP or broken.
I feel like if you have like a decently good bank and you're like 30, 40 minutes into the game, carrier's not such a bad option to add to your unit comp.
Yeah, I would say the Tempest is always the better option.
Yeah, I can't see a scenario. Maybe like, no, I can't. I wouldn't
it's
pick
tough.
carrier over Tempest because I just wouldn't ever. I can't. I'm trying to think of a scenario.
They're
I mean,
too slow, and
PvP,
they get
like-
countered by everything designed to kill Colossus and Marines, which is
Like-
like everything in the game.
PvP, I think White Ross says that he throws in like 1 or 2 so that the other Protoss has to focus it down because it does a lot of DPS compared to Tempest, but still, like, it's just so expensive. That's another Tempest right there, or a bunch of Blink Stalkers or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's like somebody in chat just mentioned carriers are much better against Vikings. That's not actually true. You can kill an infinite number of carriers with Vikings.
Yeah, don't Vikings like hard counter carriers?
Yeah, they outrange.
Isn't that the point? Yeah.
Yeah, they're faster in the outrange.
So every time that it tries to launch, it won't be in range, and then it'll get 2 missiles, and then it'll move forward again.
Like, battle cruisers have the same problem. Like, yeah, they're used in some situations, but because anti-air is so strong, because of the Colossus, basically, they're not that good. Because of
Actually,
units like Vikings.
As a Protoss player, like if Terran gets like maxed out on BCs, I'm pretty sure you like can't kill that. I think that's just GG.
Void Rays kill them because they're mass. Like, Void Rays will just tear them to
Yeah,
pieces in seconds.
but then they just do the Yamato cannon. All the
Yamato-
Void Rays die.
The Yamato cannon takes too long, and it doesn't do any
Yeah.
splash.
No, it only
No,
does
it's
the Void Ray, doesn't it?
low splash, but the Void Ray would just destroy it.
I've-
Because it's massive.
Like what I run into is battlecruiser Raven. So when I go
Yeah.
Void Ray, I've
Yeah.
had this happen before. Like they just seeker missile the Void Rays, and even if you have perfect splits, like you can't
People are
trick
mentioning
efficient.
Tempest as well, which is true. Tempest would wreck them.
Yeah, Tempest destroy battlecruisers because I went mass battlecruiser and they went mass
Yeah.
Tempest, and then I couldn't even get close. Like
It's
it
not
was,
like you
Should
can't
make
see
just
like a
mass
lot of
Tempest?
battlecruisers coming. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna find out that the Terran's trying to do that and be able to
Well,
counter it.
sometimes I just play super passive and don't scout at all. Like none.
Well, that's just losing because you're bad.
Yeah, pretty much. But
but yeah, 90
Like, that
seconds at a
happens to me
time.
all the time. Like I die to stuff all the time because I just don't. I'm not active. I don't scout it. And like infestors show up all of a sudden, and my Marines are all in a big group because I'm trying to kill Zerglings. And then it's like, oh, that's bad.
yeah, that's something I've been trying to focus on. Just like fucking scout more. I don't even care if I lose the game because I didn't macro. I just want to scout more. That's it. That's all I want to
Yeah.
do.
But
Scout
yeah,
and map control.
Tempest plus Blink Stalker and battlecruisers are useless.
Why Blink Stalker?
Well,
Because
It's-
the Blink Stalkers move faster, so you can put the Blink Stalkers up in front, and you can blink
But I
them
mean, Blink
backwards as you
Stalkers
need to.
suck against battlecruisers.
It doesn't matter. The Tempest will rock the battlecruisers.
But why not just have more Tempests and speed
Because-
reserves?
I would just stay with the Tempest.
Because
Because the Terran will just make Marines and you'll lose.
yeah, because you can switch over to Marines.
So wouldn't you
and-
just get like High Templar then?
No.
Well, then you're
Oh.
talking about having everything, right?
Well, just like one High Templar.
Like
against
basically, the
next
Terran could
Marines.
just. It's one of the biggest switches the Terran players used to do, and you can still do it. Like a biomech versus a mech player or whatever. The biomech player obviously has really good upgrades on his Marines. So if the mech player for whatever reason kills all the other guy's Marines, and the other guy techs into air and tries to go for like battle cruisers to kill the mech player, what you can do is just switch into bio, right, and kill the battle cruisers and switch into Marines.
Well, I mean, the thing about that is, I don't like once I scout like 9 or 10 battle cruisers, I don't think there's gonna be that much bio, so I'm not really worried about Marines against my Tempests.
But 10 battlecruisers only.
This is
60
like
supply.
also a pretty dumb conversation too.
It is, but
It's because it's
half
about a
of
bunch
it.
of units that don't matter.
Yeah.
It happens rarely, but when it does happen,
Well,
it's pretty
battlecruisers
epic.
shouldn't happen in TVP that often. I mean, you really shouldn't.
It's like the super late game. There's like nothing goes past battlecruiser Raven. Like that's it. That's the game.
Well, no, because then they devolve from there. You just
Yeah.
go backwards. You go to battlecruiser Raven and then you go back to bio. But 10 battlecruisers still only 60 supplies, so it's not that much. But yeah, it's goofy.
Hey, can I ask a unrelated question?
Of course.
I go
Anything
off
to get
topic.
Anything to get off of this topic.
I hate fucking battle cruisers. Damn it.
What? How is that off topic?
No, wait, no,
I
sorry,
wish
sorry.
battlecruisers were good in
No.
anything except for like Gold League 4v4s when I first started playing the game. And there's that island map, so I just like build CCs, float over the island, and get like 200 supply of battlecruisers.
My question was this: what do you think, or what do you feel about green screens and streaming?
Oh, I think they're trash.
Because I always see, like you see the streamers with like their heads just popping out on the StarCraft thing, and it's like, where's your body? dude?
Only a few streamers do that, and
Every time that
Your
I've
name
seen
is
it,
JP. You're doing pretty well.
every time that I've seen it, it looks like trash. Like I've never seen anybody do a really good job. with
JP
it.
does it pretty good. Oh, all right then.
He does it the best, but it still looks awful. I mean, it's this goofy superimposed thing that, like, we don't know that you're in a bedroom or a studio somewhere. It's like, put a background behind it. Do something interesting. Make it, if you're gonna do something like that, make it part of the game. Make it part of the UI. Like,
Well,
if you're-
StarCraft's UI is so easy to do that with. There's no reason not to.
right, exactly. You can
Sorry,
already.
can I interrupt? Can we ban 99INTE, please?
Sure,
Why?
I just banned him. There you go.
Boom,
Thank you so
why?
much.
All
All
right.
right.
Anyway,
Why did I
we
ban
him?
I don't know
Yeah.
why we banned him, but
Because I just did it, man. Because I trust you, but I
You,
mean,
know, you call me a pro LOL player. I'm not
oh,
a pro LOL
I'm,
player.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, that definitely deserves a ban.
yeah, but whatever. But I mean, in the StarCraft UI, yeah.
He's
I mean,
like the one
obviously-
defending us. The other guy's calling us trash. Let's ban the guy that.
Let's ban the guy who's defending us.
That's pretty much how we all play StarCraft. Too.
Yep.
Read it wrong and then they're OP. It's not because I made a mistake.
Nope, definitely never made a mistake. I've never personally ever made a mistake playing StarCraft. I don't know about you guys, but I've never made a single mistake.
Oh, fuck. That shit's... funny
All right,
guy, man.
I
But
know
yeah,
we'll
what I
talk
was-
about next.
But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, as far as the green screen stuff, I feel like it's really easy to do a good job on it, and everybody just decides that because you can remove your background, that that's the right way to go. And I don't know, I just don't like it.
No, like one thing we didn't when we were talking about the streaming and stuff that we didn't talk about much was like if you want to have a good stream, like webcam is pretty important, and that's coming from you, who I'll have a webcam at the end, but I got a lot of my following off YouTube where that's not as important. Webcam is important, having a microphone is important, and talking to your chat, which nobody seems to do, is important, and just having like in general a decent quality stream, because half the time you go into somebody's stream and all you can hear is like static and background crap.
And it's like two.
And you watch it for 30 seconds and you're like, done. I'm never coming back to your stream, dude.
When you're first starting out, my big thing would be to watch your first stream. So if you stream, put it up there, stream for 20 minutes or an hour or whatever it is, test it out, see what it sounds like. Go back and watch it and ask yourself, would I watch this? If I were stumbling through Twitch channels, would I stay here? And if not, then fix the things that would put you off.
Another thing is some people stream and they think if they stream X hours that they'll get Twitch money. So you really shouldn't stream unless you actually just like streaming, because you're gonna have like a month where you don't get pretty much any viewers.
Or
So
more.
if you, yeah, or more. I mean, it only took. I had no viewers for like a month, and then my stream exploded. I guess, since I have more viewers now, but like you're gonna go through a long spurt of just nothingness, and it's very depressing because you spend a lot of time streaming to basically no one. But if you're not ready to do that, you shouldn't stream.
MC Blumpkin brings up a great question. Question for the group: why don't more streamers have huge fake tits? Tara Babcock and Lauren Elise are doing great.
I don't think
We
they're
should-
doing great. I think they're doing okay. I mean, Tara Babcock pushes between 400 and 1500. I mean, is that great? The Muslim pushes between 3000 and 9000.
Well, it's the Muslim though.
Right, exactly. So that's the point, is that they're
Well,
not
Tara
doing...
Babcock's in gold, so I mean, that's pretty much amazing. You can't, but again, if it has tits in it, people are gonna watch. So
That's how it works.
Why though? Why are boobs so attractive?
I don't
to the
even.
male species?
I honestly don't
Biology?
really even want to have this conversation that much. But I mean, we can continue.
I think it's Biology 101. I think that's how that works.
'Cause
I think
don't-
League of Legends is a lot more guilty for that because you look at it's like 16 streams and like 8 of them are girls. StarCraft's a little bit different. If you look at the quote unquote girl streamers that are somewhat popular, there's usually a little bit more to it. And realistically, I don't care at all. Like if they're popular or they're more popular than me, or like if your average like high master player that has like the terrible stream with no commentary is complaining about it, it's like, who cares, buddy? Like your stream is way less interesting than hers is. Not that I would watch hers. I've seen it a couple times when it's popular or whatever, but like her stream is more interesting than like your average guy who just has piss all on his stream.
She, just like the behaviors that we were talking about before, she hits all of those same behaviors. She has a webcam, she has a nice microphone, she has no background noise, and she engages with the chat. There's an interaction with the chat. Those are all of the big three. I mean, beyond that, if she didn't do any of those things, if it was just the webcam, no mic, and no interaction, then yeah, I would probably take some issue with it. But she's doing everything 100% right.
And like a lot of people are like, well, she's a bad player because she's in like platinum or gold or whatever, and it's like, well, you know what? I'm a crap player. Tomb sucks too.
Yep.
And people watch us, right?
I was gold, and I was hitting 100 to 150 in gold, so I had a stream where I hit 250. I mean, I don't begrudge people their league. Whatever league you are is the league you are. Everybody is terrible at StarCraft. I've said this before, but I mean, everybody is bad at StarCraft if we look at it from the right lens. If we have, Flash and Jadong looking at, high masters North American players, do you think they're going to compliment you on your play? Do you think that they're going to be like, oh, these guys are amazing, they're the best players in the world? Because I'm guessing no. I'm guessing they're going to, be pretty honest and say that they're going to be respectful, but, in whatever words.
They'd probably say these guys have potential, and that's probably it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 other points too to kind of hit on at the end of that. Number one, she's not taking views away from your stream, no matter how you feel. If people want to go watch the highest level play, they'll go watch like the Muslim or whoever's streaming right now that's really, really good. They're not going to come watch you play. Same with me, right? They're not going to come watch me play. And she's just bringing more people essentially into the community that maybe like didn't know anything about StarCraft, right? That are just like, oh, who's this? Like your buddy thinks it because they're joking around or whatever. Maybe they get interested that way.
Well, also,
So-
she's a professional sports model, so she has how many ever billion Twitter followers just because of, her career, and she makes StarCraft tweets, and she makes, gaming tweets, and she, brings people to Twitch. So these are people who may never have seen Twitch before. They may not be gamers, per se, and now they're watching her, play this game, and now they're on this website. Well, now her stream ends. Where do they go? Because we've seen time and time again, the viewer counts for the games are pretty stable. When one big stream ends, a lot of times, a lot of these people that are watching these streams will just click on whatever the next one is, whatever's, on the sidebar. It says, hey, you should probably watch this. And they'll go check that out. They'll go watch, 5 minutes of, maybe it's Imarine. Maybe he's, in the top 8 or whatever. So it could be a new viewer just because they came over from, from Twitter or whatever.
Yeah, I hate people that just hate on her because she gets followers for whatever reason. Like, yeah, if people are just watching her because she looks pretty good or she's got fake tits or whatever it is, Like, go ahead. At the end of the day, people are just watching my stream, usually because they want to learn and hopefully get a little bit better at StarCraft. People are usually watching Tomb stream to see him get angry and rage. And for Micro, baby, Micro.
Yeah.
And nobody watches Montezuma stream, so we don't have
No.
to worry about
I know.
that. But,
He's trash, so don't worry
yeah,
about it.
he's trash.
Oh, you're making me want to cry, you bastard.
Yeah. Everybody has different reasons for people to watch them, right? There's a few people that are watched because they're really good at the game, and those guys are popular for that reason. But even then, you look at the Muslim, he's super popular because he interacts with his chat. He talks and explains things during his games. He doesn't just sit there and grind a million games, right? He'll talk and explain what he's doing. I really enjoy watching his stream and trying to figure out exactly what's going on.
I just watched Muslim because it's like very relaxing. You
It
just
is.
watch him rape people, and I'm just like, okay, he's just gonna win again.
That British
Yeah.
accent just calms
He-
everything.
He gets stomped by by a stream cheater, or not a stream cheater, but a map hacker, and it's just like, oh, well, this is what happened. Yeah, he's map hacking, and let's look at this, and I'll just contact Blizzard, and it's like there's like no anger there. It's just like, oh,
Yeah,
this
no.
is, something happens. Like
He
I
gets
would
angry
be.
from time to time.
He does get angry, but I mean, like in that game specifically, it was just like he just handled it like so, like it was Superman, or it was just like, man, I would have flipped the table. I'd be yelling and screaming and like.
Like, I remember when he got Oracle busted by like 5 Oracles, and then at the same time there was like an army that came up like to his natural, and he just left the game, and he was just like, what? How do you even like what? How do you deal with that? he's
Yeah.
like
He
pretty
always
angry.
stops short of calling things imbalanced, but
Yeah.
you'll see him try to figure things out. Like, he was struggling a lot with Terran versus Zerg, but now it's probably his best matchup because he spent time working on it. If you followed his stream, you'd kind of figure out how he fixed the matchup, right? So, but somebody was bringing that up, and I don't know. I hate it when people hate on other people that are successful, whatever the reason. It's just stupid. Like, just work harder at your own stuff.
I mean, do you guys in chat have any questions about streaming? Because I would love to learn from these guys as well. I mean, how to grow. It seems like Tooms, like his audience has just been growing exponentially. iMarine too. Filter. I mean, just been following you recently, but still, is Reddit the way to go? I mean, I would not start one, but is YouTube another avenue that's worth starting? And how would you go about getting viewers at YouTube?
The only reason to ever like do streaming or YouTube is because you want to and you like StarCraft or you like whatever game it is. That's literally the only reason to do it.
So
Yeah,
is
The
it,
only
is
reason,
it
like, my YouTube channel was like, I was talking with my buddy and I was like, oh man, yeah, like nobody does like really good tutorials that are like, there's a lot of high level stuff, but there's nothing that's going to teach somebody using like Silver or Gold League like the real way to play and like really focus on the back end and the macro and your mechanics and how that makes you a better player. There's nothing that's really good about that. Like, I think it could be popular if I did it, and why not? You know, if 300 people watch it, cool, right? And I started my YouTube channel, and my first video got like 150 views because I posted it on like Battle.net. Right? I was like, hey, you know, give me some feedback, check this out. And then some guy's like, hey, yo, this guy's totally unknown. He's only got like 3 videos, but like these tutorials are freaking awesome. Go check them out. Post it on Reddit, and the video got like 5,000 views in like a couple of days.
Yeah, if your video
Right,
does.
so
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, it's literally just about, you know, if you wanted to do YouTube and you're like, well, I got an idea, I'm gonna do build order breakdowns. Like, don't waste your time, because if I want to find a build order, I'll go to Team Liquid and get complete detailed information and a full write-up on it and a whole bunch of videos and replays explaining how it works, right? Or I'll YouTube it, and there'll be like 500 better versions of YouTube, right, on how to do a build order. But you want to find something that's a little bit unique to you, that fits your personality, and just go ahead and do it. Like, you have to do it because you want to do it, not because you're trying to get popular.
I fully agree with that. I mean, a lot of it has to come, from a place of honesty. I mean, there's ways to promote, and there's ways that will kill you if you promote. Like, part of the reason that Reddit doesn't like me is because I self-promoted. That will literally kill you. Like, if you're about self-promotion, for whatever reason, it feels like it feels like they just absolutely despise that. So they'll do it a little bit, they'll take care of it a little bit, but if you over promote, if you're making a stream post every day to 3 subreddits, there's a very good chance that somebody's following all 3 subreddits. They see your stupid stream post for 3 or 4 or 5 days in a row as the top 3 in their on their front page. It's like, God, I hate this guy. He's right there in my face. So you got to kind of dial that back, because that was one of the things that I was doing, was that I was posting to our StarCraft, our All Things Terran when the rules were different, and our gaming. So there's, plenty of people are going to be subbed to all 3 of those, especially Terran players. Gaming is a default, and StarCraft you're going to get if you're a StarCraft player. So I'm sure there were people that were seeing it 3 times a day. And then, getting into arguments with people on those Reddit posts was probably a bad idea too, but
Yeah,
that might have been a dooms for you.
Yeah.
we could talk about that for hours, about how Reddit is like so interesting.
Yeah, but the big thing is, like, if you're going to promote on Reddit, you got to do it in moderation, and it's always best if you don't actually promote it and somebody else does it. And then the other is Team Liquid. Get your stream on Team Liquid. I can't stress that enough.
The last thing too is like be prepared for like 6 months or a year of nobody watching your stream, because I think I originally started to stream probably like 6 or 7 months before my YouTube got popular, and my stream didn't actually get popular until like a month or 2 ago when Heart of the Swarm launched. Before that, I would stream to like 30 or 40 people despite the size of my YouTube channel, and then I finally started to post to my YouTube channel that, hey, I'm streaming. I'd hit up Twitter. I didn't do Team Liquid or Reddit posts or anything because I'd get enough viewers kind of deal. But yeah, nobody watched my stream for like a year.
Wow, that's insane.
That's fine. Yeah.
When did Optic pick? Not Optic. I'm looking at Yumi. When did Quantic pick you up? How far into your like streaming career? Hello?
Filter's just gone. He's like, I'm done with you.
Filter was like, nope.
I'm still here.
I
thought you were talking to Optic.
Oh, yeah, no, I was talking to you. I'm sorry,
me?
I get distracted from that little Kirby thing. The thing's so
Yeah,
cute.
anyways.
I was wondering, yeah.
Yeah, Quantic never talked to me for streaming. It was through my YouTube channel. Geez, that was, I don't know, I think I was at about 400,000 or 500,000 views total on my channel before Quantic contacted me. And it was actually, I got contacted through somebody that knew the team and kind of introduced me that way. When I was originally with Quantic too, Quantic was very separated in terms of player and like media personality, quote unquote stuff. They also had quite a few big names like Size StarCraft and things like that. They didn't have very many like the really small guys like me, right? Because everybody's like throwing the table. And since they did the relaunch, that's kind of when they started to really help.
Yeah. How important is having a nice? My name has changed. My name is now Smiley Face Kirby. How important is it to be on a team as a streamer? Because Tooms, I guess Imarin will be picked up by Root Gaming pretty soon.
Right.
But how important is it? Like, does it give you more street cred or something?
Basically, there's definitely a few streamers out there that are on pro teams that are on the pro team because they can provide exposure and stuff for the pro team and look at the pro team in a positive light. That's a big part of the attraction for me and Quantic, right? Like, me being on Quantic is good for both sides because it gives me more legit. I can't even pronounce words. Makes me more legit as a player with the Quantic background and stuff like that when people come check out my stream, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, I get promotion from them via all their kind of media outlets and stuff like that. I can talk to, if I want to, I can talk to Hyun, who was Codas up until recently. Like, I can talk to all their high-level players for replays and that kind of stuff if I want. So it really helps out with that kind of stuff.
I feel like just being on a team will just add a name to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a good thing.
Good point.
you want to be careful. Like, I don't have a specific contract or anything with Quantic, right? Like, Quantic doesn't pay me, I don't pay them.
Okay.
And I don't have any kind of time limited thing. So if like a better opportunity came up, I'd be in good shape. Like, I would never sign with like crappy no name team for no money, but they're gonna quote unquote promote me for a year contract, or like a company like Razer, right? Like Razer, if you're starting to get kind of popular, Razer might come to you and say like, hey man, like we'll give you gear to give out on your stream. You know, if you sign and you put this Razer logo here, and you can't be with any competitors or anything like that. So like if I signed a deal with Razer and I didn't put in my contract that I can get out of the deal within like X days notice or whatever, so they would no longer send me gear and I'd no longer be affiliated with them, which I'm not right now, by the way, just to clarify. This is just an example. And my team, let's say I'm with Quantic and my team signs with SteelSeries, I'm screwed. I can't be on that team anymore, right? It's impossible for me to stay on Quantic if I have a contract with Razer that I can't break. Mm-hmm. So you want to be really careful when you're talking about teams. Like you don't want to sign any kind of contract that's going to lock you into a team, because at the end of the day, the team's going to give you exposure and help you out. And Quantic is awesome, and I love them. But you wouldn't want to be with a team signed into like a 1-year contract where they're not paying you or anything. What happens if all of a sudden you become as good as Husky, right? And all of a sudden your team has the ability to promote Razer product and all that kind of stuff, or whatever it is with you, but you have no say in it, right? So be really careful when you're talking with teams and stuff. But having a legit team, especially a team like Quantic that is a legit pro team with some really good players that are putting in good performances, or like Root or Team Liquid or EG or whatever, is a big deal.
How about stream? So here's the thing: stream overlays, right? Quantic, your stream overlays are just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
You know, you go to any Quantic stream, and you're just like, wow, you know, it's just beautiful. Root is really good too.
Root's got some of the best graphics. EG looks good.
EG too, you know, all those guys, they all have their stuff together. You know, iMarine, you know, he's not on a team. His stream overlay is just excellent. It's TumescentPie. I mean, you know, how how important is that in streaming, aside from, you know, when you're independent, you're not on a team, you have to make your own shit. Can you get away with not having a stream overlay?
No.
I mean, that's a question I had when I started.
You have to have something. I think that a lot of it comes down to production quality. You have to have at least something. Like I have a really minimalist screen overlay right now. It's very, very small. It's very unintrusive, just because I thought the other one was a little bit too intrusive. But the overlay, and I'm going to be going to a new overlay, but the overlay I think adds production quality. With no production quality, I mean it's not 100% important. Like it's not one of the top 3 things that you have to have, but it's the one thing that's going to separate you from everybody else. Your overlay, when they see it on a screenshot, when they see it wherever, that's just more branding for you or for your team or for whatever it is.
Yeah, it's really good. Your overlay will help with things like promoting your Twitter and stuff like that, right? A good example of that is, like, I've seen iMarine stream and his overlay looks really good. Obviously mine, I cheat because they just send me my overlay and they're like, here you go, use this. All right, cool.
Well, I didn't make my overlay either, so someone made it for me.
Like, there's lots of people that will do it for free and stuff too. Like, there's resources out there.
Yeah.
And it's not even expensive if you paid somebody to do it, right? So, whatever. But it's not, the big difference is, like, if you were to have, like, if this was Tomb's overlay for in-game, like a terrible cutout of a webcam with a bunch of, like, nothing sized properly, like, no offense to this particular screen, like, your overlay is just not going to look good in game.
Yeah,
People
this
aren't
one
gonna like it.
This one is very, very cheap. I didn't do anything special for this. I do need to get a permanent one, but I just haven't put in any work to it yet. So, and that's part of it, is that, like, this overlay is like my worst overlay. Like, this is the worst thing that I have.
Is it just me, or is it like a white line right below Montezuma? I thought it was like something wrong with my monitor for a little bit, and then is that part of the stream, or is that just me?
It's like there's a seems to be like a, I don't know, an artifact that's created.
He didn't put the black bar there.
Alright. Just wondering. I thought my monitor was starting to go bad or something.
Don't be racist, iMarine. Ain't no white over here.
I think I might have eliminated it, maybe. We'll see.
I don't even see what you're talking about.
It's
there,
like right
it's
under
gone.
there.
Anyway.
And then it came back.
Up, yeah. It's not that important right now.
No, not at all.
I don't know if it's 20 seconds in paint. Yummy.
At least 25. I would.
I'd say 25. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, 25.
it literally was like 20 seconds. I mean, I drew a couple of
Was
boxes.
it MS Paint? That's
No,
gotta
it
be the-
was Photoshop, but I mean,
Oh.
Okay.
It's
I
better
prefer
than
fireworks.
Minecraft.
I don't know. I'm so bad at Photoshop.
Why is there no lens flare?
oh, I've got
There's
one
a
with
20
lens
second
flare.
Photoshop job. Like, we need lens flare.
Hold on. let me-
I told them about that.
Yeah, Monty was like, "Oh, I can let me help you out with that. Let me get this going." I was like, "All right, let's see what you got." And I go over to his stream. He's like, "Check this out. It's awesome." And there's like a billion it was like every awful thing that you could see in a
Actually,
beginner Photoshop.
without being a jerk about it, like Montezuma's stream is pretty entertaining, and he's a funny guy. Unfortunately, he plays Protoss, so there's a lot of like games where he does nothing for 10 minutes. But Montezuma is a really good example where his overlays are. He's a really good idea for how he wants to put together a stream, but it still looks like a website from GeoCities in the 90s. With like just a little bit of professional cleanup to kind of tie everything together. So
Dude, I
all
made
looks
that
like it should be
myself.
It all
Fucking
looks like it should be One Piece. Then it
Dude,
would be good.
That is so. That's perfect. GeoCities. That's what it reminds me of. Thank you. Oh my god.
That's
Yes.
Yeah, that's no, but I appreciate it.
The one thing I always wondered about. I mean, your overlay is nice and everything, but why is there like? Are you sponsored by Skype or?
Oh, that thing on there? No, that's when I used to use. Bro, that's when I used to use good old XSplit. You know, sometimes I'd have some guests on, and I guess it'd be just sitting there. By the way, I got rid of XSplit because it's just. I think iMarine was right. It's just really laggy.
Does anyone in here actually think XSplit isn't shit? And if so, you can just leave.
Oh,
XSplit
I
is
think it's
good
fine.
if you're a noob and you don't know what you're doing. As soon as you figure it out, OBS is way better.
No,
the only thing you
XSplit
have to watch
runs-
out for is if you're not partnered, you can't like. I'll give you an example. My stream right now is 720p 60 FPS. Bitrate's not super high. It's only like a 2K bitrate. But if I ran that without having encoding options, I would lose like 30% of my viewers.
Yeah,
Because they just wouldn't be able to watch my stream. So if you are just starting out, like you can go like 720p 25 FPS, and you want to keep your bitrate in like the 12, 13, 1400 range at most, just to get as many people to watch.
Because that's what
Yeah.
sucks about not having transcoding. Because like everyone's like stream at 1080p. I'm like I can and I'd love to, but I can't because I lose like half my viewers. So you
Yeah,
got to find
exactly.
that number. I don't know what the number is, to be honest. There's got to be like an actual number that's the best for like keeping like a higher percentage of stream numbers. Because I don't know how bad internet is in some other parts of the world. I know Australia is pretty bad, and so is Canada, but I don't actually know the bandwidth average. So
I don't know. I can stream at 1080p with XSplit, and it works just fine. But
well, you
Whatever.
have transcoding, so I mean, or
Yeah.
whatever it's.
I know. But what I'm saying, as far as like OBS versus XSplit, I can still push whatever you can push.
No, I mean XSplit is just like CPU wise, like it uses so much more CPU.
It
like you
does.
can, yeah, it's just a piece of shit. Like there's
But-
no arguing.
But
XSplit is
my
a piece of
computer's-
shit.
But my computer's
No,
better than
it doesn't
your computer,
matter.
so
XSplit
it's
is a piece
it's
of
okay.
shit.
No, it's
No.
okay.
What's the
It's
Well,
size
like,
of
my
your?
difference was my computer was struggling at 720p 25 FPS on XSplit. I flipped over to OBS and I went up to 60 FPS.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I
And
have
my
a
performance
It has
is
less.
better.
It has less options, so that's why you
Look,
can do
okay,
that.
I have a 670 GTX WindForce from Gigabyte. I have a i5 3570K, and I have an SSD. And when I used to stream from XSplit, and I tried to stream 720p, I couldn't even get 60 FPS in game.
It's because you have a
on
crappy
yeah.
computer. It's
on
not my
Ultra.
fault. Don't
So
yell at me.
when I
No,
stream on
same
Ops,
thing,
I get like
same thing.
150 FPS
Yeah.
on Ultra at 720p,
Yep.
at 60 FPS.
And you get to
rate.
use Game Source, whereas on
Yeah.
XSplit, if you use Game
And
Source,
guess
No, I'm
what?
using Game Source too. I mean.
And guess what? XSplit costs money. Like, what in the actual fuck of all
Yeah.
fucks? How
And
can you
it-
charge for that?
because it has.
well,
To be
it
fair,
has more
XSplit was
features.
originally the first. Like I still have a license for the rest of the year for XSplit.
Yeah, but
so
I
it was
mean
one of
now,
the first
like,
ones. Now
the
there's
fact
no
that they
reason.
still charge, I don't understand that. That I get before because
Well, they can't make it free because then they'd be like, "Here's a bunch of refunds." Like obviously, anybody starting now is probably going to start with OBS.
Yeah, definitely.
XSplit is easier to grasp, but OBS is like as soon as you figure OBS out, it's way better in every way.
And the thing about XSplit is it would just randomly crash your computer, like maybe once a week. It would just crash your computer. I don't know if that was just me.
It's
No,
just
that
that.
happened.
I never once had a problem with
In
me.
game.
I never once had a problem with the XSplit crashing my computer. So
Yeah, I always thought it was because I overclocked my processor, and then I just stopped overclocking my processor altogether, and it was XSplit. XSplit. I could just go on for hours about how bad that program is.
Yeah.
but yeah, OBS is way better right now.
Thank you. You suck so much, dick.
Hey, what's everybody's upload speed?
Mine's 5.
Mine's
Lynch.
4 right now.
Like 2.8.
2.8. Lynch.
Wait, do I stream?
Lynch, bruh.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
What's your upload speed?
What's
What's the
listening?
size of your penis? I mean, your
This
up.
is why he's in platinum, by the way, guys. Because he can't concentrate for long enough to.
Speaking of concentrating, that's something that I've been losing a lot of games over. Like, how do you train yourself to always look at the minimap? That's something I've been having issues with. Because
I saw that Day 9 Daily where he said that you got to keep your eyes on that mini map while you're macroing and all this other jizz and
I do what
jazz.
filter says. I think it was filter. On his YouTube videos, every time you build an SUV, you just look at the minimap. Was that
Yeah,
filter
you
or
just-
Day 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You know what? It was probably Day 9 first because I used a lot of his ideas because they're good. When I was doing my videos, I just condensed it a little bit. But yeah, no. Basically, you have a cycle where you look at your supply, you look at your money, you look at your mini map, you make stuff. You look at your supply, you look at your money, you look at your mini map, you make stuff, and you just constantly cycle through, and eventually it'll become habit.
Yeah, that's basically it.
But like, but right now, because I play Terran, I'm not too worried about the mini map anymore.
Yeah, you don't have to.
I don't have to. Yeah.
Okay, speaking of Terran and minimaps, there's this Terran that I know. We're not going to name any names because that would just be awful, but he goes for one base Hellbat drop just every TBT. And what do you think about
He's
that,
good.
Filter?
Oh, I know him. I think.
Oh, that particular build? I don't know. I think he was trying to turn it into like a 2-base one, and it doesn't transition at all.
No, it doesn't
very
transition
well.
to 2 base, I don't think. I think that it's a really good build though, and I think that guy's a genius for using it. I don't know who you're talking about, but
Well, I've seen the guy. I think I know who you're talking about, Imarine, and I've seen it. And what he does is he boosts in, and then drops the Hellbats while everything runs away, so they don't do any damage.
yeah.
And what you're supposed to do is you fly in, and then you boost on top of the workers and drop, and you'll kill all the workers.
You know, whatever.
It's just a small fix of basic mechanics. No, if it's a
But I
serious
think this guy's
question-
mechanics are pretty trash. I mean, they're like
if it's
Bronze
a
League
serious
mechanics.
question about the Hellbat drop build. It's really good. Like it's still really strong.
Yeah, but speaking of
It's a
mechanics,
band-aid maneuver. It's basically like if you're really bad and you just don't want to play that certain matchup, like then you can go for Hellbat drops. Or somebody like Nathanos, like I know he can play a straight up game really well, but he'll mix in Hellbat drops if he just wants to quickly get through the game.
yeah, I played Nathanius in WCS, and he just cheesed me, which was okay. It's a tournament, but it sucked because I lost twice.
Hold on, let me find
that's
what he
fucking
said
fun,
about
guys.
that in
Go on.
context chat.
Hey, Toombs, meantime, can you show us that jersey? You look
wanna see the
pretty
jersey?
swole. You
Yeah,
look
I gotta
pretty swag.
test everything.
Your
Later,
name
just
is
jump in.
YOLO Swag in
Yeah, I did
CS?
that because
Why?
because when Nathanius is, I used to watch Nathanius all the time, and he used to play this guy named XX YOLO Swag XX. So I thought it'd be really funny to make that my MLG team name, just because why not?
I just want to laugh at you
Hold on,
all because I
hold on.
fucked your shit up.
I know you did.
Nathanos,
Sup, Buck?
Imarine, Nathanos thought you were map hacking.
Really?
Yeah.
You're
Why?
a sick map hacker, obviously.
Wait, I
Hold
lost.
on, I'll
both
give you
games.
the
Wait,
full
what?
quote. But I'm pretty sure he map hacks. I'll have to be careful.
Dude, I lost both fucking games. How do I
Yeah,
map?
he's
hack?
only 1150 points.
I heard TumescentPie map hacks.
Yeah, all the time. That's all I
Confirm.
do.
Wait, seriously,
I'm
why
just
do you think I map hack?
Nathanos is
I-
a good guy. I guess he just doesn't know who you are.
Like,
Obviously,
my
you know you
scouting
didn't.
was
hack.
shit.
Okay,
Like,
so what's Saturday Night Pie?
Why
We
would
all
he?
like
If he
to-
thought you map hacked, why would he proxy Widowmine you twice?
Well, I mean, like he did it
That
the
doesn't
first
make any
time.
sense.
So the second time he did it, like I searched the whole map with my mothership core, and I finally found the fucking thing, but I still lost because I missed a force field, and like a widow mine got inside my base, and it killed like 13 probes, and it was bad.
Do you happen to have replays of this? Because I would like to do that to Protoss.
Yeah, I have replays. Actually,
Didn't Jachi do that? Like
I don't know. Nathanis
2 weeks ago?
watches like tons of Pro League and GSTL and stuff. So,
Yeah,
like,
'cause I
if
think-
something happens there.
I think Jachi did it. I don't know.
Hey, I have a question. What is Saturday Night Pie?
It's a talk
Do
show.
y'all like? Do
And
y'all
you
like
just
make
jumped in.
pies, get drunk, just like talk about who map hacks?
apparently I map hack. I want to see this chat conversation about how he thinks I map hack. Like that actually, that's actually an awesome compliment.
I
My
can't
scout's
tell.
that good.
I can't tell who's talking. Who's talking?
It's Imarine. He's on camera.
TumescentPie. TumescentPie is talking.
No, I'm never talking.
Okay. All right then.
I've been the quietest out here. So I don't know shit.
What was like? Am I really supposed to be talking about WCS? Like I don't know.
Not
if
your
I'm-
results. No, you could get disqualified,
Well, I mean, I
and
didn't,
then
I didn't make it, so
That losers bracket.
yeah.
It's already
feel
yeah,
like-
it's up in the bracket. You can see their bracket,
Okay, so I
So-
mean, we could talk
but
about
it doesn't. It's not important. I was just laughing because of that. You just in that situation, obviously your scouting is really good.
Yeah, it was just like it was one of those things where whenever I scout Terran Gas, I use my mothership core and I scout like let's say for Daybreak, right? I'm gonna scout to the right of my main and my third and my fifth and fourth with my mothership core if they take gas and they don't like make a Reaper, just because I get proxy widowed mind like so often that if you don't scout it, you just die.
What would be a good
Oh.
location to put proxy widow mines against you that you would not scout? If
Somebody
Somebody were to
anywhere,
run
like,
into you.
Like, okay, on Daybreak, to the right of my... Well, I mean, any proxy location that I wouldn't scout would be so far away from my main base that where they wouldn't be worth it. Maybe, Oh, I know, on Daybreak, you know how there's that natural ramp with the rocks? Put it right in front of those rocks and, like, sort of hide it in that corner, because I usually don't scout that. That's where
Okay.
you would want to put it. Yeah, that's exactly where you want to put it. Like, if you proxy 2-gate me there, I'll lose. So,
Hey,
yeah.
Puck, are you there?
Yeah.
I have a question. What do you think about the DT drops? Like, will it work at your level on ladder?
the Tails DT drop. Is that what you're asking about?
Yeah.
I can't tell if you're serious or not.
No, I'm dead serious. I'm like a low,
What?
mid to low master. So I don't know. I'm just.
Are you talking about will a pro build work?
Have you ever done it before?
I have, and it works. It works wonders at my level, at least. I don't know.
Okay.
And I screwed up. Mine hits at like 8 minutes.
It can work. I could just die. It's just like going for DTs, right? So.
I just feel like it's an auto lose if they just hard counter you with like missile turrets and stuff. Like, don't you just lose?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't like the build, because you could. I mean, even if they're like not even scouting, it's just a blind counter. Like, it's still a blind counter. I don't want to lose to a blind counter. It still sucks.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's definitely a good build to throw in to like mess with someone on like a best of 3, to like put them on edge. I would say.
All right.
Soon, what happened to our faces?
Nothing.
I think he's trying to fix the overlay.
Yeah, I was trying to do some
What?
stuff.
But the overlay was already perfect, Toom. You spent like 3 days on it. What do you
Yeah, I
mean?
know. I spent days and days and days getting.
Yo,
this.
no. What happened to the dude? We lost our good version of the logo.
Oh, we did.
Wow. You
It's-
made
How
it
did
worse.
you mess that up?
Yeah. It's gone
Oh,
forever.
God.
I think nobody ever saw that.
Just make a new one with more lens flares.
Yes, more lens flares.
Wait, Puck. I have a question for you.
Okay, what's up?
Alright, what do you think, if you want to improve at the game, do you think it's good to do, like, one base Hellbat drops and TVT every single time? Or should you go for a macro build?
Oh god.
If you want to get good at the game, you need to just practice your mechanics.
See, it's not even build orders, Imarine. Don't
Yeah,
even worry about
It's
it, bro.
nothing. It's nothing to do with build orders. Build orders is the misconception about it all. Like, say it's me, right? I could do any build and win, probably all the way up to like at least mid masters, right?
Yep.
But like, if you give someone else like a gold player and he's doing a 4-gate, he can't beat anyone that's masters, even if he's 4-gating and he has the build order down perfectly. It just doesn't matter. It's all about mechanics.
Yeah, but like for like a some kind of all-in, you don't really learn the mechanics that you really need to learn, like late game mechanics, mid game mechanics. You know
Well,
what I
it's not
mean?
even that. Like if you're in Gold League and you're foregating and you're still in Gold League, like you're just doing the foregate badly. It's still like a huge mechanical problem.
Like there's a black bar over my face, Tumescent. What?
Yeah.
Why did you put a black bar over my
Because
face?
we're just done with you. We're just tired of hearing
Behind that
stuff.
jail cell.
Dude was so
Zoomed out,
yeah.
son.
It's not my fault. I blame Leia for this.
Anyway, whatever happened to that chat that said I was map hacking? I wanted to read it. You
I'm
should
not
post
gonna
it on
copy
this.
paste. I'm not gonna
Oh,
post
okay.
it. I like Nithanis too much. I was just laughing that he said that,
All right.
and it's just a case of him not knowing.
I thought he knew me. That's why, like, I don't know. I guess he didn't know who.
I thought he knew who you were. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't-
Well, I'm sure he's heard of you, but maybe he doesn't. I don't know why he would think that.
I did message him
Maybe he
and
thinks
told
you map
him.
hacked after the game.
he said nothing to me. I don't know. I mean, I can understand why. Okay, let me set up the situation. It was Athlon Wastes, okay, and he proxy factories on, you know where those destructible rocks at are your third?
Yeah.
He proxy factories like a little bit to the left of that, and I pretty much like go straight there with my mothership core, and I find his proxy factory. But because I'm so bad, I didn't even realize I found a proxy factory for like 30 seconds because I don't look at my minimap that often, which is really bad. So I have like widow mines in my mineral line. I'm like, oh wait, I scouted this. So I end up losing the
So
game.
that's
because,
why you look like a map hacker, because you
I mean, yeah, I pretty much. I always scout.
basically look like you didn't know how to react to it.
Yeah, like I always go straight for like the proxy locations if I scout gas and no Reaper. That's what I do.
Easy,
Oh,
son.
Marine.
I mean, if I use map hacks, I use map hacks really well, and no one can tell. So I'll just say that.
It's because you're so bad. You don't know anything about the game. You just like use map hacks, and it's like, yeah, Masters League, and I don't know.
There's,
anything.
I don't know, there's some guy who's like either Diamond or Masters on his stream, and he was just streaming to a bunch of friends, and he's showing his map hack, and he basically dies to like this bunker rush, or almost dies to it, even though he could see it coming from a million years away, and he's a Protoss player. And it got posted on Team Liquid, his stream, so people started filing in to watch this guy map hacking. And then as soon as he realizes that people are watching his stream, some other guy was recording the VOD too, like on his own stream, kind of restreaming the guy stream hacking. It was so funny. This
Wait.
guy had he had production hack, he had full map hack, and he had like a zoom out. He could see his main and his natural light completely.
Wait, what do you mean like a bunker rush? Like, how do you
bunker rush your Protoss?
I mean, how do you lose to a bunker rush? Don't you just see the SEV and the bunker? Like, was it like
That's
a
why
marine
it's funny, because he's such a terrible player that he couldn't handle it. Right?
Hey,
Just wait.
I have a question for everybody in here. Just real quick. You know, I'm whatever. I'm low master. What is the skill cap? Like, what's the skill difference between a low master, a mid master, and a high master? And how long does it take to transition to each of those levels?
Each
A lot.
like jump is it's a ton. It's bigger than a league jump is.
It's depends person to person.
Well,
Like-
sorry, go
Like
Here's
ahead.
the
playing
thing,
5
here's-
hours a day.
Just stop. Here's the thing: like some people hit certain spots and they just go on a huge all of a sudden they're amazing out of nowhere. Like there's a lot of things with improving where at certain points someone will improve a lot further just based off mechanics, knowledge, and all that shit, build orders. Where, I mean, I can't. It's really hard to describe. I can't really explain this, but.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've had those moments where I go, like, I do really good, and then I just plateau, and then I do really, really good, and I plateau again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's how improvement in StarCraft works. But if you were to put like a low master up against a high master, it would be like 10 out of 10 losses.
Yeah, the thing is like, people that are outside Master League, they think that, like, rank means something, and that, like, you know, a low master beating a high master, that could happen, but really, like, low master, mid master, high master are basically like different leagues. I mean,
Yeah.
completely. Like if you go from low master to mid master, that's like a league promotion. You could even split up into more. I think maybe Master League is like 5 leagues. just the way the skill gap works. Like just so much skill in Master League that it's not like any other league. You have to.
Can I put it into perspective?
Sure.
It took me 1 month to get Masters from Bronze. It took me 6 months from Masters to get Grandmasters. And this is with 4 to 8 hours a day.
Yeah, that was about the same for me, except I'm not GM yet.
Here, let me say this. I'm gonna say you gotta build up a ton of different skills, and it's gonna take a while for them to all click and then utilize each other effectively.
Honestly,
Go ahead.
the fastest way to improve is play Osu, click between mineral patches, click individual mineral patches.
I've seen that.
Practice practicing, and you'll become a lot better, a lot faster.
Yeah.
But you also have to like practice your left hand as well. So there's different exercises with the left hand that you have to do to improve. Like switching between left hand, in all honesty, just comes with playing a lot. The right hand comes with forced practice. Left hand just comes with just playing.
So, Puck, what do you think is the hardest? Like, once you get into Masters League, what do you think is the hardest race to like get into Grandmaster League, mechanics wise, or just in general?
Terran,
Yes.
by far.
Sweet victory.
Terran's by far the hardest to get in the Grandmasters with. But once you figure it all out, Terran's extremely easy to win with. And I think it eventually leads to Protoss and Zerg being a lot harder when at that higher levels. Hey, don't put my picture on there, please.
No? Okay.
What's the best way to improve when you're at a plateau? Is it just watching those replays or working on like little things like micro or
Watching replays does little to nothing.
really? I'm at that plateau. That's why I asked, cause yeah, I don't
Replays don't do shit for anyone. Well, they do shit for some people, but you have to be playing at like the highest level of play.
So what would you suggest, like, to get out of that plateau?
Practice.
Practice, keep playing. Yeah.
I
If
mean,
you're doing something wrong in your play, obviously, you just gotta find a new method of practice and work through it, or play through it at least. It's kind of like working out. Like, a lot of people will hit a plateau where they can't lift more for maybe like a month. Then all of a sudden they're like benching like another 10, 15 pounds.
I would also say that, especially when you plateau, maybe like take a because for me, I play pretty much every day for StarCraft, and if you play StarCraft every day for like 4 to 5 hours, you eventually like every time you lose, you'll tilt really fast. So maybe take a few days break and come back and work on what you need to work on. Because if you just continually play, it's actually I don't think it's better for you. Because eventually I just start hating StarCraft if I play it every single day.
Yeah.
If you're hitting a plateau, you need to
Second, I'll be right back.
try a new build that requires a lot more skill. Like, say, my Colossus drop build. If you start doing that, once you...
Yeah.
I mean, it forces you to multitask. It forces you to use more APM. You're definitely going to improve doing it. Like, but if you keep doing Immortal Sentry all in, you're not really practicing anymore. The only thing you're practicing is your force fields. But there's other ways you can practice that way more efficiently.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, well, I mean, I definitely don't all in. I'm trying to work on macro. But I think the taking days off, like, if I feel like it helps me, Imarine. You know?
Yeah, same.
Like when you play like that, you keep doing the same derpy mistakes, and then you just spiral into that tilt until you hit rock bottom.
I really liked what he said about using like new builds that'll push your ability to play a little bit too.
Yeah,
I
same.
think that's pretty. A lot of people kind of settle into like really easy to execute stuff that doesn't really require any multitasking or whatever.
Like for
Even
example, when
That's what I'm really guilty of right now. Where it's just there's not a lot of multi-pronged aggression or anything. It's just building more
What the
stuff.
fuck? There's a cat.
I see a pussy. Oh, so cute.
But But yeah, like when Heart of the Swarm came out, like you remember in Wings Liberty, you didn't have to open Stargate, but now that Heart of the Swarm's out, at least in my opinion, you kind of have to. And since I've never done it,
I think
well,
that's a totally misconception. I think opening Stargate's actually bad, to be honest with you.
In PvP?
It's going to become bad. You're talking PvP. I was thinking PvC.
no, PvC. Well, if not Stargate, what should I be opening? Because that's what I do.
I really think it's gonna.
4 gates.
Yes, 4 gates. PvZ works perfectly.
Looks
Yeah,
like
that's what I
Dr. with
did.
that cat.
That's what I did in Wings of Liberty, but I feel like you can't hold sort of like Hydra
I
links
can
if you.
I can help you with a sick 4 gate PvZ, Jeff, if you really want.
Oh, don't worry. We're gonna have lots of moments.
Oh yeah, when is that boot camp with?
In like two weeks, a week and a half.
Yeah, that's
it's
gonna
pretty
be
fucking
awesome.
close.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for that.
that'll
It'll
be
be
sick.
awesome.
All right, I'm
That'd
back.
be
Sorry
best.
for leaving.
You guys better be glad I'm Terran, so I can multitask and get all these screen overlays back in here.
Use your hotkeys, son.
Hotkeys. What are your?
Team, right now, are you using XSplit or OBS?
I'm using XSplit. If I were using OBS, everything would have been just done. Like we wouldn't have been able to do any of this.
What do you mean?
You couldn't do any of this.
You can't screen do the little perimeter thing in OBS.
Not with
Really?
a live stream. No.
No.
Oh.
Something XSplit's better. Blah blah blah. I told
See,
you, OBS doesn't have all the features, man. That's why I don't
Like
use OBS.
Adam like hates on XSplit so much, and there's like a lot of like hipsters that are like OBS is the shit, and it's a good program, but it's not fully finished yet, and the little tiny fuck ups that XSplit has, I haven't had an issue. Like once you realize what they are, you don't really run into problems. Like I have no problems whatsoever with XSplit.
I
don't see
completely
it.
agree.
I don't see what everybody's problem is. Like it does the streams really well. There's a lot of different things you can do in the back end that people don't even know about. They just assume it's shit. It's just people like have crashes and then they complain about it, but they don't go on the forums and look at any of the solutions to the problems. And then once you figure out the solutions, like you don't have any more problems.
Here, look, I'm going to switch my screen resolution or my screen so it's just me. But if you look at that video that I just popped in, you'll have to look at the live stream if you're in the Skype call. I'll pop it back. But that video, that little bit of where it like switches between my sponsors and Twitch and all of that stuff, you can't do that in OBS without making like a GIF slideshow. It won't you can't actually do that. You can't just drop in. That's an MP4.
Yeah.
There's no MP4 support or GIF support.
I think OBS will be a better program in like 6 months, just because like the guy that's programming it is fucking awesome and he's like a one-man show, but it's just not where it's at right now. Like people are shitting on XSplit like really bad for no reason, when OBS really just doesn't perform as good on so many levels. But in 6 months, I probably won't be saying the same thing because XSplit, although it is a good, reliable program, they're not really doing a whole lot to improve it.
Yeah, see, the thing for me was like XSplit would always randomly crash, and it was not because I have a bad computer. I have like a 670 and an i5 3570K and all the updated drivers, and I couldn't figure out why. And I went in the forums and I was like, it doesn't make sense. And when I was in game, I was only getting like, 50, 55 FPS when I was streaming, and now when I stream with OBS.
Are you using game source when you're using XSplit, or are you using like the screen region? Like, are you just taking a screenshot of your 1080 by or your 1280 by whatever the fuck resolution you're streaming in, like on the back screen, or are you doing...
I remembered I read some kind of forum post like one or the other was better, and I think I picked the better option, but I honestly can't remember which one it was.
I think it was the screen region because that's what I was using, and I looked on.
I think that's what it ended up being. Yeah, because if you use the game capture, apparently you drop
so
like
laggy. Yeah. But
Yeah.
OBS is the
After
opposite.
that, yeah.
Like with OBS, they recommend that you use game source, and your FPS goes up like 30.
Yeah, the XSplit just sort of fixed the game source for StarCraft and League of Legends specifically, but if you use it for a lot of the other games like Far Cry and shit, it like dropped your frame rate really, really bad. I use a game source now for StarCraft and it works really well. Like I can stream 60 frames if I wanted to, but I just don't want to use that much bandwidth. Like My computer's pretty good. Like that's the one bad thing about XSplit is it uses a lot of system resources, and Obs isn't as bad. So like if you're playing StarCraft on Ultra, and you're streaming in 1080p at say, I don't know what bitrate you guys stream at, maybe 4,000 bitrate. I stream at almost 6,000, so it's pretty heavy duty.
Yeah, it's pretty much the reason that I switched over because I could like XSplit wasn't it would stream good, but I wouldn't be able to play the game good. Like I would just drop frames in game, and I would lose games because I didn't have 60 FPS in game.
Yeah.
Or at least I told myself I lost games because I didn't have 60 FPS.
Trying to do that Immortal Sentry all in, hit those force fields with 10 FPS. It's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
I don't even play StarCraft in 60 frames. So I usually get sometimes like it'll dip to like 45 or so, and it's all over the place for me.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me when I used XSplit.
Yeah.
And now I get
Yeah,
150.
the streamer's not use OBS. It's just I don't use anything fancy, right? My stream's not trying to do like 19 different things. So it's just a basic overlay. OBS works really well for me.
Wish I could stream. If I didn't have a shit computer.
Hey Jeff, what's your download and upload speed?
I have 30 up and I think 100 down.
Nice.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Yeah, I have
Wow.
fiber op, so.
He used to have trash internet, right? I mean, like you're.
I used to have garbage internet. I used to have like a one upload.
Do you mind me asking, but like, how much does that cost? Because I tried to get that in my area, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know how much the internet is specifically, but for my internet and my cable, it's $150 a month.
Not
So that's
bad.
not even bad, dude. In America, like it's just horrible over here.
Do they give you a data cap per month?
There's a 250 gig cap, but
It's
I
never
never,
enforced.
I never hit that. And if I were to go over, they wouldn't do anything about it. They don't care.
Wow.
It's just set in place so that like, say a company doesn't get one service and then uses it to like feed an entire fucking office space with like 5 or 6 computers and are just nonstop working and stuff. They said that only 2% of the actual people that have the internet go over the 250 gig cap per month, so they don't really enforce it. And if they were to, they'd give you a warning first. But they know that, like when I switched service, I was with who was I fucking with? Eastlink. I was with Eastlink, which is like a local ISP provider, and then or ISP, I should say. And then I went to Bell Alliant fiber op, and then I said the only way I'm switching is if I get your best fiber op and you don't hit me with a cap because I do this for a living. And then they said, yeah, it's fine. We're not going to do anything. So,
Yeah,
but I've never
Comcast did the
hit
same
250
thing.
gigs, and I stream about 200 hours a month. So, and at 5808 bit rate. and
Now,
1080p.
with their cap, are they talking about up and down, or are they just talking about down?
I think it's
Just-
both.
I'm not sure if it's combined or not. I have no idea. I don't ever download shit, so it's just really upload. I download like the odd movie. That's
I
what
think
it
that's
is.
just
Yeah.
your download. In Canada, they don't really even talk about your upload cap here.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Comcast they don't care about your upload. They just care about your download.
They don't.
Yeah,
it's
for
weird in
Comcast,
Canada.
I
They
was
really
hitting,
don't.
like 500 gigs every single month, but they never enforced it. So
Yeah, they used to send me like an email every now and again when I would hit the cap.
oh really?
Oh yeah.
Dang.
Brent, 1 month I did 200 gigs was my max that I've ever done.
Wow, that's like my minimum. But I mean, my whole family uses my internet, so and my whole family's always on the internet, so I don't know.
So balance. I have a question about balance. Jeff, what do you think about Mass Muta? PVZ, PVEZ. Like 30 plus. You have Blink Stalkers.
You're dead.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think the only way to handle Muta is to know, like, obviously scout it's coming. It's like, and maybe Puck can agree or maybe disagree totally. But
Can I?
what I think, let me finish. I'll tell you
Okay.
exactly what I think. So in Wings of Liberty, if you didn't scout Muta and Muta hit, chances are you're fucked, or it's like a major game of like trying to get back into it. But in HOTS, I find if you don't know it's coming and they hit, you're even more fucked than you were in Wings of Liberty, because what I find is if you get high temp and you put high temp at each one of your main bases, like your natural, your third, your main, and you try and storm is great, but the problem is for one, you got to hit the mutas, and then for two, when you hit the mutas, they just fly off into bumfuck Nowheresville and then come back 30 seconds later with full health and just pick your probes apart. So the only way that I've figured out, and then Puck, maybe you have a totally different idea about it, is if you know it's coming, drop down another Stargate or even a third Stargate and just start getting mass Phoenix, pretty much.
Here's my issue with like the whole Infestor buff, Muta buff. Like Wings of Liberty, Mutas weren't an issue if you had enough Blink Stalkers and Storm. But now in HOTS, since Mutas do regen, they're faster.
Yeah.
Infestors have like 10 range. If they have like an Overseer always following their Mutas, and they burrow Infestors at certain spots, they pop up, bam, 11 range, your Phoenixes are all stuck, because Phoenixes clump really easy, right?
Yeah, they do. And you have to clump them too, like to micro, like you have to. You
get fungoed once, the game's over, which is ridiculous. I really think within the next 6 months to a year, Mutas will get a huge nerf, or Infestors, one of the two, because there's going to be a phase where Zergs are only making Mutas. That will eventually happen.
Yeah, does anyone know, like, I didn't really follow the beta, but why did they get a nerf or buff? Because, like, in Wings of Liberty, they were pretty good already. I mean...
Because...
Medivacs.
Because they just want to try new things since it's an expansion pack.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do is make the game more exciting. Is make it more action-packed, right? So, I think that's why they just made them that much more, like, that much stronger. And also, I think it's because of the Medivac boost as well. I don't think Mutas were buffed specifically to fuck Protoss. I think it was to do against other races when they thought about it. But then I don't think they've thought it through completely, because Protoss really, really struggles with it.
I mean, I feel like the way Mutas are, I know, Puck, you said you don't like, or you don't open Stargate, but I feel like if you don't open Stargate, and against a good Zerg player that really knows how to use Mutas, like, I don't see how you come back from that. I don't.
Well, the current meta doesn't really use that much Mutas, so until that's all Zergs do, I don't think opening Stargate's the right answer. I think that going to a late Stargate transition is going to be a lot better. Because right now, Tempest 3-shot Broodlords. So if you force a Zerg to go Broodlords, all you need is 3-4 Tempests, and you basically get a free win. Because going to mass Broodlord is a huge investment as Zerg, so...
But why would you even go Broodlords anymore? Because you can go Swarm Host and it's...
Because if Protoss has a mass ground army, and you made a mass amount of Corruptors to deal with it, you're eventually going to make a mass Broodlord transition.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It happens all the time. Yeah, it really does, and it can really cost you the game quickly, because if you're just going a lot of Colossus and Zealots, like charge lot Zealots and high temp, you can die very easily to the Broodlords as well. So you got to be like really careful.
That's why when you always get a fourth down, you should throw down a Stargate or two.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel, just really quickly, like, how do you feel lower league players should be dealing with the mass Muta stuff? Because especially in, like, lower master, mid-master, diamond, all that stuff, Zerg always overmake Mutas no matter the matchup.
What I always tell...
I'm sure that's... Yeah, go ahead.
What I always tell lower league people, when I say lower league, I mean, like, bronze all the way up to low diamond. I always tell them that stop complaining about units and start learning how to learn mechanics, because you're not losing games because somebody decides that they're going to go mass muta, or somebody goes DT, or somebody goes this. It's because your mechanics are poor, and you're losing the game even before those units hit. And that's...
biomechanics, do you mean like simply macro, or just like all mechanics? Just like, you know, scouting?
Mechanics in general, like scouting, hotkeys, game sense, every sense of the word, like just the basics, I guess, would be a better I guess a better word, the basics of StarCraft, because what a lot of people have a problem with doing, and Essence, one of those people. I don't want to pick on you, but he and I used to be the same way, where you just do the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and you just keep dying, and then you just keep raging, and the reason why it's frustrating, because you're not seeing the bigger picture. It's like, well, fuck, how did all these Lings and Banelings just kill me? Why is this guy all-inning all the time? But then if you look at your base, and you decided to get 3 expands right off the bat. I mean, your opponent wants to win the game, so he's gonna go and he's gonna do things to try and win. So if you're gonna go mass muta, for example, and you're in platinum, somebody's just going to get, say, mass Phoenix, and they're going to hard counter you. It's like, if you're just going to go ahead and get 3 expands off the start, why wouldn't somebody all in you or do a big attack? There's like so many mistakes. Like, I watch a lot of lower league streams, and they all rage over the same things, and I don't judge them, because I went back and I watched some of my old videos, and I used to be the same way, where I would just fucking rage. Like, people would just be like, dude, what are you talking about? Fix your game. And I'd be like, fuck you. You don't fucking know. Don't fucking tell me. I play this game fucking 8 hours a day, you fucking prick. Ban. Right? That's what I used to be like that, seriously. And it wasn't until, like, probably about a year ago, when I got my head out of my own ass, and I said, listen, Jeff, you're losing the games way before before the loss screen comes up. Something's happening here. Did I supply block myself 4 times at the start? Why did I get a forge when I don't plan on putting a cannon down or getting an upgrade? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? Why didn't I scout? Why am I only doing the same builds against a specific race over and over and over again, no matter what? For example, like say fucking I did a 4-gate, right? And because there was a point in time when I 4-gated Protoss, Zerg, and Terran. Right, all 3 of them, because it was the only build that I knew, right? And it was
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, it was the only build that I knew, like, build wise, and it was the thing that got me wins, right? And when I got wins, the stream shut up. Maximus Black was like the fucking coolest kid on town. He's gonna make it into Diamond. Just wait and see. You know, it made me feel good. So, say for example, I would 4-gate a Protoss that was 4-gating. Okay, that would work. Technically, that would work. Or I would 4-gate a Protoss that was 2-gate proxying me. Or I would 4-gate a Protoss that just decided to get a fuck ton of cannons. Or I would 4-gate a Terran that decided that he was going to Marine SCV all in me. Or I'd 4-gate a Terran that decided that he was going to proxy Rax me. Or I'd 4-gate a Terran that decided he was going to 3-base. Or I'd 4-gate a Zerg when he was going to 6-pool me. Or I'd 4-gate a Zerg when he was going to get a 10-pool. Or I'd 4-gate a Zerg when he put up 50 fucking spine crawlers and he got lings. It didn't fucking matter. I just did the build because I wanted to do the build. And that is the problem that all these lower league players do, is they never ever play the game reactionary. They just do it because they think they're going to win, because they've won with it before, and they just want to repeat a science, but the science just doesn't work against specific other builds. So somebody's going to hard counter you, and if you don't change your build orders, you're just going to lose, and you're just going to keep grinding games over and over and over again. You'll go up a league because you've perfected one build against each race, and then you'll get to a point. So say you hit Diamond, you're like, fuck yeah, I hit Diamond, I'm the fucking greatest person ever. I'm feeling awesome. But all I had to do is 1-1-1 as Terran. All I had to do was Marine SCV all in, or do some sort of bullshit Reaper fucking proxy shit.
Some bullshit Hellbat.
Yeah, or some bullshit Hellbat drops, right? I only had to
Widowmine drops.
I only had to do those 3 builds, but I've made it into Diamond because I perfected the timings, and they're just weird and they're retarded build orders, so people fall to them. But now I've reached a high Diamond player that is actually transitioning and scouting and going, oh, okay, Tumescent, okay, he's got no gas, he's got 2 extra command centers in his base. He's gonna be macroing. Well, okay, I'm just going to Bailing bust him and make him rage. And in Platinum and Diamond, they don't think that. They go in with the same mindset that you go in with. They go, I'm going to do this build because it's going to possibly win me a game. And then it's a fucking game of rock, paper, scissors. Does my build counter your build? Or am I just going to be retarded enough and not hotkey my units and just run in and have everything dead and then I rage? So that's pretty much... So I know I went on a major tangent, but
Yeah,
the lower league players, it's not the fucking mutas that are killing you. It's your mechanics that are killing you. It's your mindset. You're dead before you even start the game.
You know how they're really pissed off a Zerg? When you're forgating them, build 3 pylons on the top of their ramp and block them,
Wow.
and they don't know what the fuck to do. Like they're literally just trying to Zergs around. They're like, what do I do now? Do I attack the units or do I attack the pylons? And they'll make the decision like before it's like too late or after it's too late. Then you just like warp in wherever they have less units and you just kill them.
I always,
like a horrible thing. You're a
I
terrible
always
person.
I always try and tell
That's
lower
awesome,
league
though.
players, like, they're like, well, how do I go from diamond to masters? And it's a pretty big jump, like, because the mindset of a diamond player is totally different from like a masters. Like a diamond player, like I said, knows like 1 or 2 good builds, and they do that over and over and over again. And in order to get to that next level, you just have to push yourself. You have to take a lot of losses and suck it up and then learn from it. And that's just pretty much it. If you're just going to keep doing the same builds over and over and over again, sure, you might go up a little bit in ranks and whatnot, but the ranking is just going to be a deceitful one. Like, if you make it to Masters, you're not really a Master player. You're just going to get crushed. And then you're going to be scared to even play on that account because you're going to be dreaded the day when you lose and you get demoted. And then everybody on your stream realizes that you weren't truly a Masters player, but you're scared that you want to play on that account because you know you're going to fucking lose because the guys above you are so much better because you only know how to do one thing. I was in that position. I know what it's like. I had that fear of like only knowing a certain amount of stuff and then going, oh shit, I got to play up against a Masters Terran. I'm going to get raped today. And I just lost 6 games in a row. If I lose this one, I might get demoted. It wasn't until I took my head out of my own ass and I started like, you know, watching other people play and actually studying build orders and stuff to the point where I actually was no longer like 60, 70 masters. And now it's like, you know, I laugh at people that are low masters. You know, it just comes with experience. You just got to play lots of StarCraft and not just play it to play it, but play it to learn. It's like 2 different things.
Also, don't
Make
distract
sure you,
yourself.
Yeah,
Don't
distracting yourself is terrible, especially streaming. Like,
Yeah.
for example, the last 3 days, I had a stream delay on, and I went up 250 points because I haven't been watching the stream, like watching stream chat or like letting haters get under my skin. I just focused on the game, and that was it. And then in between games, then you can go ahead and, you know, talk to people and stuff like that. But if you're streaming, it's so important to like stay focused because Puck is totally right. If your mind is somewhere else, like StarCraft is a game of chess. It's like you just can't, in the middle of a game of chess, you just can't fucking, you know, talk on the phone and play chess. You just can't do it, right? You gotta like look at the board and say, okay, if I move my rook here, this knight's gonna rape me, or if I go here, I'm gonna get checkmated. It's all about just keeping focus on everything you're doing in the game, because if you even look at the stream for like 1 second and then you forget to put Bob in his position, and next thing you know it, like 4 lings get in your base. Those 4 lings may not kill you, but they may kill 1 or 2 probes or get rid of 150 minerals of mining time, and that'll just be the edge that Zerg needs to beat you in the next 3 minutes. It's just so everything is key. Everything is key.
Just
Put
wanted
it
to
in
add
perspective.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
Put it in perspective. If I'm not streaming and I'm just playing the game, turn off my other monitor, I win about 50% more games than
Yep.
I do
It's true.
when I'm streaming.
It's probably true for a lot of people. I just wanted to mention a couple points. The same thing happened to me that happened to Black, where I basically cheesed and went like 1 build order all the way up to Masters, and then I was completely scared to play. So that's kind of how my whole video series started, where I worked up and tried to be a decent like mechanical player. And the other thing was iMarine talking about where we were talking earlier, like if you're a lower streamer that not too many people watch, you do have to interact with chat and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But Imarine was talking about how he doesn't look at the minimap, and I'm sure it's the same for me. My chat's on the opposite side of my minimap, so I probably look at my chat every time I should be looking at my minimap,
Yep.
Yeah.
which totally burns me in the
I
ass. I'm sure that'll happen to a lot of people, but
I recently had a problem with that, where I realized my eyes were like not going to my minimap anymore. They're going to the right, like looking at my monitor, whether I actually had something on it or not.
Yeah.
And that was just becoming a problem.
Yeah, same. Now I just literally, when I go into a game, I stare at my minimap unless I have to do something that requires not staring at it, because I lose to so many drops just because I had the observer there and I totally saw it coming, but I didn't actually look at it, and then I don't have anything in position. So
Yeah,
Can you
it's
do
like
both?
as a. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say quick. Can you like? What if you just change monitors? I mean, I don't know. Because I guess if you're playing, because you're trying to entertain while you're streaming, you know, and yeah, you're so
chat's always
distracted.
gonna distract you.
Yeah,
But like
that's
for
true.
me, I don't really care. Like I'm not trying to be the best player. I'm not trying to get the GM. I'm happy being like a mid master, like somewhat decent Terran compared to like the average, I guess, right? So it's like good for me to talk to my chat and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
part of the reason I stream.
streamers-
So like you have to
streamers-
understand where you are. Like you want to have fun. You don't want to be like if you
Yeah.
want to be the best and that's what you're trying to be, then cool, like go for it.
Yeah.
And take advantage of that stuff. But if you want to entertain your stream and have a little bit more fun, then
Yeah.
go ahead, look at your chat.
Well, the thing is like with streamers, they really have to decide what it is they're trying to do. Like I knew very early on that I wanted to entertain, and I didn't want to be like I always wanted to get good. Like the thing with me is I created this whole quest to Grandmasters thing because I wanted my audience to be on a journey with me. I wanted them to feel invested. I wanted them to root for me. And to be perfectly honest, like when I started Quest to Grandmasters when I was in gold, I never ever in a million years thought I'd actually get there. You know what I mean? And I'm still not there today. But I never thought that I'd even attempt to get there. It was just one of those things that I just did to make it interesting for the fans that were watching and have them root towards something. And then as I started streaming more and more, I realized that, well, my StarCraft skills are shit. I need to entertain people to actually get them to want to watch my stream because, let's face it, if you're really bad at StarCraft, unless you have really high energy, you're doing some sort of like antics on stream, or you rage a fuck ton, people are not going to watch you because you're fucking boring. No one's going to sit there and watch somebody that doesn't have a webcam that's playing at a platinum level. I mean, it's just not going to happen unless you've got tits. So, that's pretty much it. So, I had to quickly pick, and that was to be an entertainer. And fortunately, I got a big audience through that. And now that they've all come to like me, I would like to think as a person, they'll watch me do virtually anything. There's been times I could sit in this chair and just talk to them for 3 or 4 hours and still have 1,000 people watching because they just enjoy the atmosphere. And once I got that down, then I decided to get a little bit more serious with StarCraft. And now that's where I'm at today, where I'm actually convincing myself now that I'm gonna make it to Grandmasters. And I'm a little bit of a slow learner. I'm a very slow learner, and I also still fuck around a lot on the stream, which hurts me progress as a player. But I'm starting to get a little bit more strict. So a lot of people, when they start a stream, they have to choose very quickly, what it is they want to do, because first impressions are everything. And if they go on your stream and they go, well, this is fucking boring, I'm going to go watch Maximus Black because, he goes in a chainmail and sings Master Exploder, even though he's not very good, but at least I find that entertaining and the people in his chat are fucking crazy, and that alone is entertainment, then I'm going to go do that. And there's so much competition on there. Or they'll go onto my stream and they'll go, who the fuck is this retard in a chainmail? I want to go watch somebody that's actually good at the game, so they'll go watch Puck. You know what I mean? So you just kind of have to know your role, and then you have to choose it. And mixing matching can really kind of hurt you because it sets your fans don't really know what they're going to expect, because some people just want to watch some dude play video games, and it just so happens that it's StarCraft. And you just make it really fun and exciting for that individual to have background noise while they're studying for an exam, or they're looking after their child or they're fucking at work or whatever, just passing the time as background noise. It's all about how you can keep them on your stream. And the best way I found to do it was to be a personality and do it that way, because the only people, like when you think about it, there's individuals out there that are high GM or like the best in the world, and they only get like 200 or 300 viewers on Twitch TV, but they have no webcam. They don't talk. They don't do anything. But the thing the thing is that's their role, and they know that. So they go on there and they play at a very elite level, and they perform and they go and they do tournaments. But there's guys like me, and then there's hybrids like Puck and Desro that will just play at a high level and also entertain. Puck's been doing that a lot more. So the stream numbers reflect that. So it's a matter of trying to figure out what you want to do. If you can't make a living from StarCraft through tournaments, then perhaps you have to bite the bullet and be a little bit entertaining, so that you can actually do this and live off this. Unless you've got a community that's willing to, pay for you to be there, type thing.
I just wanted to add to. I see a lot of streams that really oversell themselves. Like, I like to go into a lot of smaller streams all the time and see what other people are doing. The most frustrating thing is when you get into somebody's stream and it's like High Master Terran or whatever, and the guy's complaining about everything being OP and saying this other guy's trash, but he won because he's bad. Then he gets out of the game and he's like a 800-point Master Terran.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as that happens, like, I'm done. I'm out of here, man. Like, you're not. Don't oversell your stream.
Yeah,
Like,
it's hard to tell when you can call yourself something different. Like right now,
I would call myself High
20
Master if I
Master.
started to tag and play GMs on a regular basis.
Well, what the
That'd
problem
be my
is
cutoff point.
people with 800-point masters is they have egos, right? And they think that they're good, but once again, it's an illusion. Like they're good. Don't get me wrong. Like they're fucking good. But when they complain about something being imbalanced, and I'm guilty of doing stuff like that, but the majority of it is just venting, right? Like, fucking Christ, man, mute us, god damn it. You know what I mean? That's just natural. If you didn't have a microphone, like, at least for me as a competitor and a gamer, and I'm sure fucking Puck does the same thing, streaming or not streaming, you're in your mind going, fucking Christ, man, fucking Swarm host, Jesus Christ, do they really does Zerg really need another fucking unit that can just non-stop spray units at me? Like, what the fuck, BattleNet, David Kim, go eat a dick. Like, that's the type of shit that you just say out of frustration, but you don't really mean it, right? It's just or if you really mean it, then you got to think, okay, well, I'm a low tier master player or even mid tier or high master player. What right do I have to say that this game's imbalanced when there's people that are way better than I that are doing it fine? You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie, Swarm hosts are pretty ridiculous.
I know they're ridiculous.
Yeah, they are.
I think the upgrade will eventually be removed. Like, if they didn't have the upgrade, they wouldn't be so bad, but when they last an extra, like, 10 seconds, it's like, are you gonna ever disappear?
They don't
One
disappear.
thing I'm just really, really happy with is the Blizzard hasn't jumped the gun on any kind of nerfs. Because there's some stuff, like, right at the start that looked really OP, and then people figured it out, like, instantly.
Yeah, that's true.
So now we're finally starting to see where the real problems are, which is nice.
You ever look at sc2ranks.com?
I would go to the website, but why?
Check out all the Zergs.
Oh,
on, so,
yeah, no. I can check out my own ladder.
Well, I just want to say something. For the first, like, 2 weeks of HOTS release, or, like, first, like, month, I should say, top GM Korea was nothing but Protoss, right?
Yeah.
Now it's becoming more Terran, more Zerg. Then there's only one Protoss in the top 5. And there's a few more. There's 3 Protoss in the top 10, so that's actually kind of pretty balanced, like 33% almost. But I feel like that's eventually going to become more Terran and more Zerg and less Protoss once the other races are figured out.
Yeah, I've heard Zergs like cats and stuff even say that right now Zerg is like not overpowered, but they have sort of an advantage. Like they're just really, really strong right now, and it's mainly because nobody's really figured out a really correct way to play them. Like there is that Protoss Death Ball that everyone's talking about, how Void Rays are like, so OP. but even that's starting to get countered now.
Well, that was
against
the big
like
one.
Zerg.
Like a week in, that looked super broken in OP, and now it's starting to get picked apart a little bit.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
want to say something about that as well. What did Protoss do that we can actually use in our army composition that we couldn't before?
Nothing.
There's absolutely no new units.
Mothership
There's-
core to recall. That's it.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, how many times, or for me anyway, how many times have I really taken it late game to a battle? You know,
Mhm.
it's
Well,
fucking slow as fuck. You can't, and there's so many corruptors out on the field that like
It's just gonna get picked off immediately.
They're so squishy. It's like it's just one of those things. The gripe that I have with Protoss is. I love the Oracle. I think the Oracle is like the holy grail for HOTS right now. For
I noticed that on your stream.
I
But
could give you a sick build for Oracle, by the way.
oh yeah, I can't wait, dude. But what's really pissed me off about Protoss and HOTS is the fact that the other races, Zerg and Terran, has remained the same mechanically, and the units that they've originally had are better. And then you've got the Widowmine on top of that, you know, for Terran, which is just a whole nother ball game. But hey, you can get around it. I'm not totally complaining, but it's a really good fucking unit, just like the Oracle. But the thing is with Protoss is we've got the Oracle, we've got the Mothership core. What else did we fucking get? I mean, the Tempest is lame. But basically, Protoss is the same thing, except now you have to use. Now your mechanics have to get better to play at a high level. Like you can abuse the new units at lower leagues and win a bunch of games, and like I said, get to a certain league and then rape all the way up there, and then get to like say low masters, and then have your shit pushed in until you get good. But at a really high level, it's just more hotkeys, more spell units, and you don't get more units. It's still the same less amount of units than any other race. But it's just more hotkeys and more mechanics that you have to do. It's just more mastering. And that's one thing that I really, really dislike about Protoss. It's like with Zerg, you've got the swarm hosts. You burrow them and you just let them fucking own whatever. There's no micro needed. They just do it, right? And with Mutas, you just go in and you go out. With Widowmines, you just burrow. With Medevacs, you just boost and stim and win. And I find with Protoss, and this is obviously a biased rant, okay, because we do have OP force fields and our Void Rays do kick ass, but I feel as though there's a lot more to Protoss mechanically now than what there ever was before.
Can I say something in response to that, Jeff?
Yeah.
I think the whole thing was completely biased, because if you were a competitive gamer, you'd be saying, I actually enjoy now that Protoss requires more mechanics, because that allows for the better player to actually win more compared to the worst player.
Yep.
So like, say in 6 months, where you're just still an entertainer, but like all of nowhere, you actually start maintaining like top 25 GM on NA, you're gonna be like, wow, I can't believe I said that before.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's, I still think there's truth to what I said, but I do agree that the mindset that I'm in is not where it needs to be. But it's just it's a lot more work, right? It's just like it becomes a profession, like it actually becomes a job where it's your job to fucking dissect the race and become, Master Baus Toss, and not just a guy that's gonna fucking use two hotkeys and hope for the best. It's hotkey everything. Do all the things at once, but it's gonna be fucking pure sex. It's gonna be like fucking 50-woman orgy, and just you're the only dude. And when it all comes together at the end, it's just gonna be glorious. The climax is gonna be elite, and it's just gonna be it's
kind of like.
I'm not gonna lie though, Zerg's complete bullshit with their new unit this world.
Hold on. I'd like to talk about this. Wait, so as a Protoss, like if you actually get late game and they have like the Spore Crawler wall and the Infestors and all that stuff, like how are you supposed to deal with that? Puck?
Don't let them get there.
Okay, besides that.
2 base swarm host, how do you deal with that?
Yeah.
How do you deal with a
easy.
fucking 2-base proxy hatch swarm host bullshit? Fucking Christ. Cats did that once, and I've gotten fucking raped by it about 50 times on ladder.
played an hour and 40-minute game against cats.
Oh,
I was ahead all game, but I could never kill him because he had Mass Swarm Host, Vipers, Mass Infester. I could never break him. I tried.
No, you can.
I tried every composition Protoss could make.
Yeah.
Nothing would work.
You can't do it because they just sit there and they just abuse the range, and then their other units counter what you need to counter for the swarm host, and the whole map will get mined out. I've been in 2 different games where this has happened, where they'll sit out there with a bunch of fucking swarm hosts and vipers, and they'll just own you, and you'll go out, you'll lose your entire army, you'll remax, you'll lose your entire army, you'll remax, you'll lose your entire... Next thing you know it, you've got no bases. Zerg is sitting on 6 bases. The whole map is mined out, but guess what? Zerg has 50,000 minerals banked up. Good fucking luck, because you're just constantly losing shit. And you know what pisses me off even more is when swarm hosts, like say if you have 20 swarm hosts and you burrow 10 and then they start attacking and then you take the other 10 and then you do it so that when the first set of 10 locusts die, the other 10 just hit right after that, and it's a literal non-stop wave. It's not like one big fucking wave. It's like 2 separate waves of fucking death, and it's non-stop death. And that's that
Zerg 300 army. Like they make tons of spines and spores, and it's just, I mean, they can get 200 army plus the spores and spines. It's just ridiculous.
If you're behind a Zerg and they go swarm host, there's no coming back.
Oh, you're dead. You're dead.
Like, they're playing so cost effectively, even if they stay on 3 base and you somehow manage to sneak a 3rd and a 4th base, if you take those bases too late, there's nothing you can do. Like, the swarm host count just gets too high.
I feel like Protoss in general really lacks the ability to outplay, and you rely a little bit more on your opponent making mistakes, especially in something like PvT.
Is the one race that can't afford mistakes. You can't make mistakes as Protoss, otherwise you're pretty much dead. Whereas Zerg and Terran, you got so much room for error. Like, I watched a game where it was APOC versus Succeed, right? It was 20 to 80 supply. Succeed was up 60 supply. But APOC was able to come back because he had 3 orbital commands and no SCVs.
Well, everybody knows
my fucking life. Story of my life. 3 orbitals. Hey, why did you get 5,000 minerals? Chuck Testa. You're like, no, what the fuck? It's funny because you can get all in by Terran and then hold it, and then if you lose like 9 probes, the second all in will come from the mules and just finish you. You're dead.
It's really ridiculous. There's no room for error as Protoss.
Yeah,
literally
to learn that, like
that, especially within your early game. I just mean in terms of late game style compositions, or like if you're fighting a late game Terran army, if he has the right composition for your composition, there's not a lot that you can do to stop that. If he hits everything perfectly, and the Terran player's micro is on par, the Protoss player's options are basically not there.
What I will say though, to not be biased, I mean, if it's the same sort of rule, like with Protoss, if you miss a force field, you're dead. You know, if you miss a storm, you're dead. If you get EMP'd once, you're dead. But the same thing goes for the other races, right? If you're Terran, if you miss mules or if you supply block yourself, you know, you can die very quickly. If you're Zerg and you miss injects, you're dead. So, you know, it's all those things, but definitely late game, the other races can definitely make mistakes. And with the Protoss army, if you really do miss like a force field, or like I said before, you get EMP'd from a ghost and your high temps get EMP'd, you know, you lose the game instantly. I mean, now we're lucky enough to have the mothership core so you can recall if shit hits the fan, but how many, like we've talked about before, how many times can you actually get, you know, a recall off, you know, in an army? Like, by the time you realize that your army's dying, chances are your mothership core has already been focus fired and dead.
Another thing I want to point out to, like, I hate to be biased on this, but it's completely 100% true. A mothership core is not good enough to prevent drops. Absolutely not. If you get double dropped and you're relying on the mothership core, the DPS from the mothership core is not enough to stop a 2-drop ship from doing the damage they need to do.
You mean the photon overcharge?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
good. It's good early game, and you know what? It's more of like a fucking what's a good analogy? I can do this here. Okay, you're a really big fucking black guy, right? You're a huge 6'8" black dude. You're down at the bar, and there's this really petite Asian chick, right? She's smoking hot. She's got a thing for you, but she is scared as fuck of that big black D that is going to tear her apart if she goes home with you. It's the same thing in PBT when a drop comes where you put down a photon overcharge and you go, look at me, I'm 6'8", I'm black, I've got a big dick. And then the Terran goes, oh fuck, I'm sure he's got a huge dick and now I'm going to leave. But little did he know that this big 6'8" black man really has a 4-inch dick. And he could have just went in and totally fucked the shit out of that dick, but decided not to because the outer shell was intimidating as fuck. It's the same thing. Like, a lot of Terrans just grow vaginas, and they just back off when they can just literally still plow through a bunch of probes and shit.
The photon overcharge isn't a big deal on like the late game double drops for Terran.
Yeah.
Early game it's really good though. It lets you skip a few things.
Yeah,
so.
early game. I'm not gonna lie. Mothership Core is an amazing early game to have.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You can't there's no aggression for Terran.
Mothership
Yeah,
Core
but
early game is OP,
There's a few
man.
options, but not much.
OP Mothership Core. How many games? Like, Puck, you gotta say, how many games have you been saved at like a fucking a Terran 10-minute push where like maybe you've made a mistake with a force field, or you just didn't. Maybe you've supply blocked yourself, and you're just getting overran, and then you just put up a photon overcharge, and it forces them to back off for that like 30 seconds that you need to get back into the game. Like, that's pretty huge.
Can
Like,
I be honest with you?
What, you don't miss those force fields?
Maybe like 2 or 3 games in the course of 1.4K.
All right.
It's
Well, we're not all as good.
Hey,
as you.
let me.
Not
No,
all as good as you.
stop. Let me give my explanation. I play extremely aggressive with the Mothership Core. I use it for scouting and aggressive play. I don't really use it for defensive.
All right. Well, okay. Well, I guess I'll have to learn that when you come to my house.
You're probably best using defensive. I'm starting to learn that.
Thank you.
What do you do if you're Montezuma and you're like a Diamond League Protoss that can't win any games?
Sad.
Doesn't even make sentries because he doesn't know the
Reported,
the
sir.
force
You are
field.
reported. I miss my force fields. Whenever people foregate me, I usually miss my force field because my hand is shaking. I scout one gas and I'm just, and then I hit the
I don't know
force
if I can
field.
hold this.
Is that
F click.
the scariest thing in the world? Like, when you're like, I used to have like this problem where if I was being attacked, I was shaking so much, like I was scared to rely on force.
You make me feel so much better right now because that happens to me every single time.
Yeah.
I see a foregate. Oh, like my
I
heart. I just freeze.
I remember being in like gold and platinum, and I just sit there, like trying to place my force field on my wrap, making sure I won't miss it when they come up.
Well, that used to be like 2010 GSL. All the Terrans did that like 3 barrack stim timing, and all you would see in the GSL is like the Terran player get to the ramp and be like, "Fuck, I hope this works," and try to stim and run up.
Okay, Monty,
that was
I have
literally
to ask,
PvP for
dude,
the first
I got a
month of
question.
it.
I got a question for Monty.
What's up?
Where the fuck do you stream at? Because every time I watch you stream, it looks like you're like a fucking scientist lab.
Dude, I stream from my lab out here, just because the internet is crazy good and I don't want to pay for it at my house.
Oh,
And I'm
you're like,
I'm always here, so it's like after I finish up my stuff here, I'll just turn on the stream or whatever, play some StarCraft here. Most people leave, so the ones that are here, they see this big mic, and they're like, "What the fuck is that?" And they see me with like my mouth on it, talking, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Oh, I have a call. Yeah, don't worry about it. You know, I just wait for them to leave." But yeah.
play at school?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm
What do you
playing at
study?
school. I'm in med school over here. I'm in the studying neuroscience.
Oh
looking
shit!
to
I was
be in-
wondering, you had like that scientist lab coat on. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, is he like fucking trying to create the new formula to beat fucking Swarm Host or what?
Trying to give David Kim that secret potion, the buff Protoss.
Bows.
Bouse.
Holy shit! putting Stormhost in perspective, I played Stefano today. I brought him down to 1 base, and I was up to 4 base. I still couldn't kill him until I had 15 Colossus. I needed 15 Colossus to be able to push back his fucking Locust, and that barely did the job.
How many bases were you on?
I was on 4, and he just got his 2 bases. So he's up to like 3 fully saturated bases at the time. But like I kept him on like 1 base for like 10 minutes in the game, and like I still couldn't break him even with like 5 Colossus against like 10 Swarm hosts. I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck?
That's a funny way of saying broken.
Well, here's the thing, like they're not that broken until they get the upgrade. Once they get that upgrade that gives Locust 10 extra seconds, then it's just like, what the fuck? Because they never go away.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the nerf for them is going to be how frequent they show up. Like, I think they'll get nerfed for like another 5 seconds or something. Like, I don't think it'll be a damage thing. I think it'll be a time thing.
Yeah, well, the frequency needs to stay the same. The time needs to just be way different. The Locusts stay out there on the field way too long. If anything, I'd rather have them have the higher frequency and like much less time. Like I'd rather see Locusts pop out way more than have them be on the field for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, Locusts will be attacking air too.
They were for a while.
Yeah, they did originally.
Yeah, I mean that's just retarded.
What?
I mean,
Are you
they were
being serious or are you trolling me?
No, they used
no,
to
true
back
stories.
when Widow Mines could detect, or not detect, but they would
Oh,
shoot.
yeah.
they could see
dude,
like
I
your
remember
DTs
that.
and shit. I would be like, oh my god.
I remember when I would send my observer into their base and the observer would insta-die and I'm like, what the crap? And then I realized the Widow Mines, I thought it was a bug at the time and apparently...
No, that was just the way.
Remember when Oracles had that thing so you could stop like the mining?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Little mini force fields.
I would rather have that over this stupid beam.
Oh, dude,
No,
I would rather you
beam
have
is
that.
so fucking dumb. Like like when you can get vision of their army. Do people actually use that shit?
I've
Like
had
in
it happen to
GM?
me. Well, not in GM. Just
Yeah.
Diamond.
It's actually very, very,
I've
very,
seen it
very,
used.
very good.
Really?
Oh crap! I forgot.
If you keep an Oracle into the mid late game and you use it on all the dropships,
Yeah,
you
he's
will
getting used to the GSO.
you would never get dropped.
Yeah.
You
I
would
guess
never
that
get
makes
dropped.
sense.
But like, the problem I have with Oracles is that they're energy based.
Yeah.
Like one EMP and they're completely useless. They're a huge investment. They're not cheap, and they die to 1 shot from Widow Mines.
Yeah.
Widow Mines
Made a
one
Widow
shot
Mines.
everything. Fuck. Except
And
for
like-
I keep coming back to Widow Mines. I don't.
Fully
Does anyone-
upgraded
does
gateway
anyone-
units get
Hold on.
one-shotted.
I don't
Does
think
anyone in here think Widow Mines are actually balanced or are we all in agreement?
No, I think they need a buff. I mean, I honestly think that they.
But I think both
I
units
think
would
the
be a
splash
good.
damage
should
needs
go
to
back
be
to that.
increased.
Yeah,
Here's-
definitely more splash
Yeah.
damage, a faster fire rate. Maybe.
Drilling claws. That shouldn't be research. That should come with them.
Yeah,
I
that
watched a
too.
Widow Mine
It's
killed
unreasonable to
25
have to-
probes at once. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I
It
saw
was
that.
on Reddit or some shit. It was like the
Yeah.
funniest.
I think
Can I-
my record is 37 off one drop.
Can I talk
Oh,
about Terran, please?
Go ahead.
Sure,
Okay.
sure.
To fix Terran, stop making Widow Mines cost gas. Make them cost more minerals. Make it so they die on impact. Bam. Balanced. Widow Mines balanced. And then Vikings. I want to rant about Vikings. You know how cheap those things are? Holy
No, they're really expensive. Shh! Don't tell
Aren't
anybody.
Wait, how much are they?
175.
They're $1.50.
Yeah, they're 125, 75, or 150, 75.
Then compare
They're
that
pretty-
to a Void Ray. Compare that to a Void Ray.
I take if you want to make the trade.
What
Like,
beats,
Yeah.
what beats what in a 1v1? A Void Ray or a Viking?
Viking can kite the Void Ray forever as long as it doesn't start
And
shooting.
what
yeah,
makes-
Vikings win,
what
but they're not. It's
in a
different
1v1?
rules.
What beats what in a 1v1? A Viking or a Phoenix?
The Phoenix, because it can run
What?
away and recharge shields.
What? Both cost more than a Viking.
Okay. What can 1v1 Viking or a battlecruiser? Which is gonna win in that
Battle
fight?
cruisers, do they even exist?
Like
Tempest.
Battle cruisers beat carriers one-on-one as well.
No, but battlecruisers
Battlecruisers
don't beat
beat
Vikings.
tanks.
A
That's
single
it.
Viking destroys a battlecruiser in that
If
same
you want,
scenario.
like, the only reason the Viking is so good at its job is because of Colossus.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
literally the only
we could
reason that unit
get
exists.
rid of
If there
Vikings
was no
completely.
Colossus or no Colossus range, for instance, which I think would be something interesting, you could drop Viking range down to 6.
That's pretty.
And you could even make them a little better against crap like Mutalisk, because they're awful against stuff like that. And Phoenix, they suck against both of those.
What I'd
They're
really like to
purely
see-
anti-Colossus, and
What
then
I-
they have some other uses. Go ahead, sir.
What I'd really like to see is Void Race having one more range, but lesser damage, or change the way Void Race execute damage instead of having to charge.
I'd like to see something that takes like a little bit of skill to use over Void Ray, because Void Rays don't leave you very much room other than like positioning and how you enter a battle.
Well, you can't
Like, you
micro
have
void
nothing.
rays. No,
Yeah,
it's
you have
all,
no
it's all
shit.
about when you click that E button. That's pretty much it. You know,
Yeah,
am I
there's no
clicking my
potential-
E in time?
It
You
comes
have to
back
make
down.
sure you don't clump them, because like in PvP, if it ends
Oh.
up Void Ray, and then they hit one storm and you don't split your
Game
Void
over.
Rays, then
Yeah,
you're just
same with
screwed.
PvT. Like 1 point defense drone, will just or not point
Renegade
defense.
lines.
Fucking
Hunter Seeker.
Hunter Seeker missile. So, thank you.
And-
One of those would just fuck your whole army. With Void Rays, I've been raped like twice with that.
Or a Widow
It's-
Mine.
Yeah, Widow Mines can do it.
Yeah, that Desro
Yeah,
video.
Desro.
When he
Yeah,
went
Desro.
back.
That's
lost.
hilarious. I've watched that video like 10 times because it's extremely entertaining for me.
Wait, which video?
Desro lost like I don't know, like 9 Void Rays or 10 Void
Yeah,
Rays.
I'm
It's
sure
more
someone-
than that.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like-
I saw
it's
that.
like
I saw that.
Was
I
it
didn't
20?
see
And then
It was.
yeah, he has like physics
was
on, so you see
ridiculous.
like all the pieces.
anybody
of
have a
the
link to
Void
that?
Rays across the ground.
Let me find that. I know what you're talking about now.
I just wish Void Rays had a little bit more to them rather than like the A move.
They're too expensive for their output. But another thing I'd like to see is Phoenix, instead of having bonus damage to light, I'd rather just see that as their base damage. Because Phoenixes are not cheap. They're actually really expensive units.
Yeah.
And it really bothers me that it takes like 5 Phoenix just to deny a single dropship from dropping your main. Like, Phoenixes do no damage to medevacs at all.
What do you think about adding Puck? What do you think about and Jeff? What do you think about adding Splash to Tempests or re-adding it? Because I asked this before, and people said that. Well, iMarine thinks it's gonna
That would
Don't
break
like
the
it.
game.
I think they're a bit OP. Oh my god.
Tempests.
That would make the unit ridiculous. You'd have to make the unit more supply or make it cost more, but you really don't want to make it cost more because it's already pretty expensive as it is. Like, the thing about Tempest is that it's a complete situational unit, right? Like, you only need them when there's Brood Lords anyways. Like, it's only useful in PvP as well. Like, if...
Watching that video.
The video is awesome.
The fucking Void Rays. Did you see this?
Yeah, that's.
Oh
just-
my god. It was like 4 Widow Mines.
Do you see his reaction? He's like, "Oh, I
I
think I."
did not see that coming.
And then
Oh,
it sinks in.
Oh my god.
I lost a
dude.
game that was impossible to lose.
I thought he was actually gonna have a heart attack when that happened.
Like, if you actually like stare at
I
Desro's
like
face
how he
when
just
that
laughs
happens,
about it after though.
like Desro's face, it doesn't change. Just Desro stares at what happens.
You would see me fucking rage. I would be fucking. I would have been thrown on my sofa. I would have fucking. Dude, I've never seen that many Void Rays get raped that quick. They actually, that was an animation I didn't even know existed in the game. It was like some sort of animation that just created itself. It was like some sort of vortex of death that just fucking created itself right there. Then David Kim was
Just
like,
looked
I
like a
didn't
chandelier
even know
breaking.
that animation even existed in the game. It was terrible.
That's fucked
No,
up.
if that happened to me, I would just punch my screen, delete StarCraft, and just go back to LOL.
I'd switch to Terran. No, I already played Terran, but
Yeah, that's not gonna happen to
I
me,
can
so
see
don't
a
worry
few
about it.
people having that happen to them and being like, I'm playing Terran.
Oh, I would have instantly reinstalled League of Legends the moment that happened. I would have been like, all right, fuck this. Fuck this. Yeah.
So, like I said, I think Widowmines definitely need a buff. I don't know how.
I think the only thing about Widowmines that I think is really broken is that drilling class upgrade.
His opponent didn't even say anything. Like if I was the opponent, I would lie so hard. I probably would have just left the game out of respect. That would somebody would kill themselves doing that shit. Like, fuck. He didn't even say anything. Like, what the fuck? It was so bad. Oh my god. I wish I would have seen that shit live, man. I would have did. It's my favorite thing.
Oh my god, wow.
Shut up, my stomach hurts. Oh my god, this death. So much death. Oh.
I gotta breathe. Oh.
Alright, is everyone okay now? Are we good?
Lad, holy shit.
Oh my god.
God, this is the same lap I remember when Toons threw his Vikings over the Hydras.
Oh man.
I had to take off my headphones because fucking making me laugh way too hard. Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Oh. Okay.
Alright. I think we're good now. Do we have it under control? Are we good? I think we're okay now.
Oh. Okay. Oh, I feel like I'm high on shrooms right now. Holy fuck. Oh, okay.
Man, you guys are still laughing about that?
Oh, fuck, man, your laugh is so contagious. It's fucking sick.
Oh man.
Oh man, my ribs. My fucking ribs. I had to get up. I felt like I was gonna throw up. Like, seriously, I couldn't stop. Fuck. Oh, it's too late for this.
And they're like,
May 6th, that's gonna be some funny shit.
my god.
Oh man.
I think I literally start laughing at my own laugh.
That video reminds me of the other video where, like, this I think Platinum or Diamond Protoss tries to surround a Widow Mine, and it kills all his probes, like every single one of his probes.
That was
like
the
a black
Muslim.
guy in Korea though.
Like, there's the link.
The Muslim was doing displacements.
Man.
Puck, stop. Puck.
Dude, you need to watch that point rate video and look at the fucking animation. It's like a fucking nuke went off. Like there's this debris all over the fucking place. It scatters like fucking a football field away. It's so fucking crazy, dude. Oh, it's funny. And it's like, it's so sick because there's no emotion from either player. They just, it's like, it didn't fucking happen. It's like you're in the fucking, in your classroom. This happened in or you're at school. And
you gotta look at Desmond's face. He's
fall
just
asleep in school and you're sleeping. And next thing you know it, you fucking let a huge fart go. And it wakes you up. And everybody just pretends it didn't happen. That's exactly what fucking happened there. Nobody fucking said anything. Desro's reaction was like a fucking hour later, and he goes, "Uh-oh." Like, what the fuck? Like, no. It's not fucking over.
Jeff, I'm kind of scared.
Oh.
Well, if this starts happening at your place, where I just can't stop laughing.
It's bound to happen.
Oh, that would be...
People can actually die from laughing, you know.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm all laughed out, guys.
Are you really?
I'm all laughed out.
Okay.
All right, so yeah.
So before that even happened, what were we even talking about? Like,
I haven't even heard TumescentPie talk in the past hour.
I've been talking. I was talking about how Widow Mines needed a buff. Remember?
Fuck's that.
And then we.
I think Widowmine should go to Zerg so they can pair him up with Swarm hosts.
Yeah.
oh my god.
It's only a matter of time before you see Day 9 doing a Fun Day Money about mass widow mines.
Didn't he already do one?
Oh, did anyone see that game between Stefano and QXE, where QXE just goes mass widow mine? Oh
Yeah,
my god,
was
that
awesome.
game.
Stefano after the game, like he just looks distraught, like he's somebody's raped him when he wasn't looking.
Yeah.
He just literally, he's like, the amount of work I have to do to stop this compared to him is just. He looks worn out and tired, like he's been through some real hard times. It's pretty funny. All QXC's doing too is just like throwing widow mines at him, like just throwing them all over the place, like 6 or 7 at a time, like straight into the middle of his army or to the base or anything. And then the end fight is the best part of the whole video because Stefano's like, he's done amazing to hold together and like micro around it and kill off the widow mines. In the last fight, QXC has a ton of battle cruisers and like a whole bunch of ravens, and Stefano comes up with all his corruptors ready to kill him off, and he just drops down so many point defense drones that all of his corruptors don't even fire a shot. Nothing QXC dies of QXC's dies, and he just Yamato's like all the corruptors out of the sky, and Stefano just like looks down and GG's. It's just like the perfect capper to that game.
Yeah, that game was really sick. That was awesome to watch.
It was fun to watch, but I'm glad I wasn't playing in it.
I don't know, it was nice to see Stefano like stress his multitasking. Like he was dealing with like 6 to 7 different widow mine situations at once.
Yeah, it
I
looks pretty
scared the
rough.
shit out of my cat. It won't come near me anymore.
Does anybody have a link to that game? People in chat are
It's
asking
like
for it.
it's like 30. It's like 30 minutes.
So,
Yeah.
Monty,
long-
man, what are you planning on doing when you're done school? Like, you trying to be like a scientist or what? Like, what's your deal?
Yeah, man, just trying to just study the brain, just do research and that kind of thing. I'm really interested in memory. You know, like thoughts. What's a thought? You know, what's a memory? Is a memory just like some sort of protein or something? So I'm kind of interested in that because we really don't even know. We have no idea.
Man, you're just on a whole nother level of fucking intelligence than what I am, dude.
I don't know. Everybody in here, I'll tell you, you guys are just. I admire you guys. You guys are all just really genius. It doesn't take,
Well,
honestly, it
thank you.
doesn't take a smart guy to be
That's the nicest thing I've ever heard you say.
Not really. I'm very just. I'm very. I look up to you guys. Just the charisma in all you guys. It doesn't take a brain. It doesn't take a neurosurgeon to be a neuroscientist. I think it just takes a lot of creativity, trying new shit, kind of trying to think outside the box. I guess it's like anything. You have that dogma right? So everybody does things one way. And if you want to make a big difference, you have to do something completely different, completely new. And I think that goes for just about anything. You know, I remember I stream just for fun. Like, there's no way I'd ever be a pro at this. I'm not very good or by any means. I remember TumescentPie said this to me, or he said it in his stream back in December before I was, before I actually knew him. He said, if you want to be a good streamer, you have to be unique. That's one of the biggest things, because there's who knows how many streamers out there, and they're all doing the same, pretty similar things. They're streaming a game and, commentating or whatever. And I think that goes for anything, just be unique. And everybody in here, all you guys, you have your own unique features about your streams and what you're doing. Yeah, so I don't know. I take that away from all you guys. Yeah.
Wow. Look at that.
Very cool.
You just had like a Dr. Phil moment, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well,
when you're rich and you're a scientist, I won't be able to pay you for this type of fucking therapy, so I might as well get it now. So.
Don't laugh, Puck.
Is it wrong that I just took like everything he said and tried to figure out how I can apply it to StarCraft?
No, man, professional. You're a professional.
Oh.
Oh.
So what do we have like topics to talk about tonight, or is this just like a hey, let's get on here and whatever comes up we want to laugh about?
The topics portion, usually the way that I've been doing it is I come up with a couple of topics to start off the show, and then from there it just becomes just kind of a free for all, just whatever. So
I think she would do what Chairman does. Like he will like get topics from Reddit. Like
Yeah.
people will just like get comments from the Reddit, and he'll just talk about it on his stream.
the big difference between Chanman and I is that Chanman is organized and has an idea of what he's doing. I
Dude's just going with the flow.
I went with the I talked to a bunch of people. I talked to Jeff when I first started streaming, and I talked to Day 9 and JP and like all these guys that are out there and like have made it, right, that have just gone over it. And the biggest thing that everybody's told me is, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing when I did it. I just got out there and did it, and I made mistakes and I learned from those mistakes. And I think that's basically how I've cobbled together the show so far. So yes, my first couple of shows are gonna kind of look like trash, and they're not gonna be very organized. And I'll try to get more on topic and that sort of thing.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is probably the most fun I've had in quite a long time.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
this is
glad.
great. What do you think about doing viewer questions?
We can always take viewer questions. I mean, the chat's right there. So
Yeah, let's do that right now.
no, never. Okay, yeah, let's
Why not? Let's just do it.
Dude,
Well,
man,
because
you
I'm
can't
Link said
post
it, we
anything
can't
on
do that.
Reddit. It doesn't
Yeah,
work.
that's another thing.
Yeah, my name cannot appear anywhere on it.
Hey, Jeff,
36%
Jeff,
reruns.
do you have problems with Reddit too? Like, do people just automatically downvote? Because I heard you mention something about that.
Say that one more time. Sorry.
Do you have issues with the Reddit community? I mean, are they toxic too to you? Because I heard they're talking to Tumescent, but I thought I heard something on your stream that they kind of just turned or something.
Yeah, well, the thing is with Reddit, it's just like it's a bunch where it's like a bunch of 14-year-olds can hide behind like, their posts and stuff. Like there is some legitimate stuff, but for the most part, it's very toxic. And it's not just StarCraft Reddit. It's a lot of Reddits. It's like a lot of different communities. It's not, trust me, it's not just StarCraft. But like for me personally, when I first started out, when we first started doing When She's Fails, like Reddit absolutely loved it. Like people were just upvoting that shit like crazy. We got all kinds of new subscribers, all this other shit. And then I had a moment where there was some personal shit going on in my life. I was being trolled hardcore. There was a lot of racism. It was like one of the first times I had a really big audience on my stream too, because like when I first started streaming, I had around 100, maybe 200 on a high end. And this in particular day, I had like 400 to 500 people watching. And some guy, I was playing a guy, and I don't really remember what happened, but I remember getting really pissed off. And I remember just saying, go fuck off somewhere, go kill yourself, right? It just out of anger. And it's funny because when I used to say that a lot, like even growing up, I would always say like, go fuck off, go fucking kill yourself, like type thing. That's just something that I just said, like, you don't fucking mean it. But it was the first time that it was like, I realized that I was a public figure right? And there was like a lot of people watching me. And like the moment I said it, I knew it was inappropriate, but I was still upset and I didn't really give a fuck. So obviously the guy saw an opportunity to like try and take me down. So he made a post about me on Reddit, and then ever since that, basically Reddit had it out for me. And there was always haters, right? But they always look for reasons to jump on the train. Like the thing is to not give them a reason. And I found that Tomb fell into that place where, and I tried to warn him before, and I knew it was only a matter of time. But like when you feed trolls like I did, people will go, oh well, I'll have my 15 minutes of fame by making a post on Reddit. I'll get a bunch of upvotes. I'll make this guy rage more, and then essentially people that don't even know you just associate you with this bad act, this maybe one bad act out of all the times, just caught you on a bad day. You're human, right? Everybody makes mistakes and says things they don't mean, but they don't care there. They just, they saw blood and they pounce. And so, in general, Reddit is a toxic place. You don't see a whole lot of positive things on Reddit. Like there are people that will do positive things, like if a lot of money's raised for something, or if there's this actual cool footage to watch, or new players get picked up. But if you even look inside those, somebody's always got something bad to say. Yeah. But it is also the internet. But I find that if you make a public mistake and you're already controversial, and you have a personality, people will find a way to try and take you down. And it's just a matter at that point to just ignore it, learn from your mistakes, and move forward. Like it took me like, Reddit's sort of off my ass now. They have been for a while, just because I've just changed, right? Like I find it funny now. People come to my stream and they go, oh well, you're if they're not spitting racism, right? Because they'll always be able to get me for that, because my skin of like the color of my skin doesn't change. I'm not Michael Jackson, so they'll always have that, but it doesn't bug me anymore. But the fact is, when they come in and they say you're garbage at this game, or all you do is forgate, or this and this, they can't really say that anymore because none of it's true. I'm a high master player. I'm actually good now. So people are trying. They're like really digging to find things to say, and it's been like my mission to really like prove to not only the haters but to the fans that I've changed. Not only as a player, but also as like a person that's in the public's eye. I can't do and say some of the things that I used to say for a number of reasons, and because that's not who I am. Just sometimes, things come out. I think everybody makes those mistakes. Just if you're a personality and people don't like you, like, you're a love or hate guy, the guys that hate you will try their hardest to like put you on the stake. But the thing is, with Reddit, everybody will just jump on it because it's somebody to fry. And one thing that I always like, my argument to Reddit is, and to the haters is like, you must have a really shitty life. Like you must like really, and I say this sincerely, like you must really be hurting on the inside, like on an emotional level, to try and like pick on somebody on the internet or whatever, when not just me, or say like, Puck or iMarine or Tomb or Monty or Filter or whoever it is, is just doing their best to have fun, play a video game. They can potentially make a living off doing something they love. People get envious of that. And they just want to take you down because they're jealous of your success, or of why are people watching them and not me. And then they realize that maybe they don't realize that it's an effort thing. It's what you put in is what you get in return. And some people just like to watch people burn, and I don't get it, because I'm just a regular dude from Halifax, Nova Scotia, that plays video games for a living, and I have a lot of fun. I'm a normal person. I have 2 cats and a fucking puppy and a fiance and bills to pay and family and real life friends. I'm just like everybody else. I don't just see the random hate. I don't know why it's there, but it's there, and it's just a matter of,
well, I would say that
taking it with a grain of salt and just moving forward.
A lot of it comes down to it's easier to destroy something than it is to build something. I mean, it's much
Yeah, I
easier to
agree.
just tear down than it is to build up. But the thing that like the weirdest thing to me, the realization that I've made with the people that you know that try to troll me or hate me or whatever and make Reddit posts and all of that stuff is that they put in more time on like trying to destroy than anybody else. Like there's no like I haven't had fans that have put in that much effort. Like these guys are so committed to like their quest. It's just, you know, they'll put in 8
Their
12
quest.
right, like it's like 8 to 12 hours a week, sometimes more. It's like a part-time job for them. Like they're literally putting in that much effort.
Well,
It's like
that's why I said that they're struggling with something emotionally, and they just, you know, you got to realize that the internet is a very for one, people have it's anonymous on the internet. I mean, people get really big. They grow an extra 6 inches behind a keyboard, and they just feel like they can do and say whatever they want without any repercussions, and it's pretty much the truth. But I think those people that really sit around and, you know, will spam the N-word in my chat for 3 or 4 hours at a time and just keep making new profiles, or just send, you know, the amount of hate mail that, like, emails and stuff that I get of people, like, you know, telling me that, you know, they're gonna fucking, like, kill me and fucking rape my family members and fucking burn me on the stake, and, like, there's, like, some really, really hateful stuff, and you don't even get mad at it, or at least I don't even get mad at it. I actually feel for those people, like, because they're just struggling with something, and I was in a terrible spot in my life at one point too. I mean, I didn't say those hateful things, but I did things that I'm not proud of. So perhaps they're just doing it. Maybe this is just their way of coping with whatever's going on in their life. It's just a matter of not allowing it to affect you and your work and your stream. And then, you know, you lash out, and then, of course, their objective is complete because you then look like the one that's disrespectful and raging. Nobody says anything about the guy that spammed your chat for 8 hours before you finally decided to say enough's enough. I only can handle this for so long. Go fucking kill yourself, right? You know, but they're only fixated on that one error that you've made, but they're not looking at what boiled you to that point. You know, you're a human. You only can take so much. Yeah. And if you're inexperienced, you're bound to make a mistake. And I've made that, and I'm sure a lot of us have made those mistakes.
I make that mistake very, very often.
No, you don't.
The thing is like most of those people are still in high school that do that. Like the people who just keep making more accounts. Yeah. It's just because they're immature and they have lots to learn themselves.
Well, you kind of have to be expecting it. Like, you're producing content that's going out to the internet, right? Like, it's the fucking internet. You're gonna get all types of random shit. So, like, I guess you just kind of have to be expecting it.
Yeah, you have to expect it, but
I mean, you can, but it does take its toll, man. Like when you're having racial slurs slammed at you all the time, or, you know, any other type of slurs that affects you, you know, personally. You know, you only can take so many shots. It's like being bullied in school, right? I was bullied at one point, and, you know, you take it for so long, and then eventually you got to make a decision. Like, am I going to backlash physically? Am I going to then become that person that's going to, you know, say names at somebody else because I'm fighting something else, because somebody's doing something to me and it's upsetting me? Or am I just going to try and take the high road and just take it and just keep taking it because I have no choice? And that's the hard part for me, was I only could take so much before I fucking exploded, right? And it's like, you know, it's not right for me to have to shut down my stream. It's not right for me to have to listen to those things over and over and over again. But the reality is if I want to be part of this industry, I have to learn to get thicker skin, and I have. Like, I'm fucking, my skin is super thick now, but I had, if you know what I'm saying. But I had to do that. Like, I had to grow that skin, and I had to make those mistakes to get that thicker skin, to realize that no matter how much people want to watch you fail, there's, for one person that says bad things about you, there's 100 people that say good things about you. And you have to get fixated and focused on the positive, and not just focus on the negative, because I was the type of guy that would be like, oh, Maximus Black, you're a boss. oh man, awesome game, you're the best, fucking, oh, I love when she fails, oh this, oh that, oh, you've got a cute woman, oh this, all these positive things, and then one dude that's like, all you do is Fortnite, you fucking dumbass, you're gonna only last another month. And I'll take that one comment and I'll go, oh, really? Really? Oh, yeah, I'll last a month, huh, big guy? Huh? You think you're fucking, oh, you think you're big, but I won't say thank you to the guy that said, good job, or I won't acknowledge the people that, love and care about me, but I would have no problem calling out the individuals that tried to make my life hell. And that's the key, is not allowing those people to get headspace, to rent space in your head for free. It's just not cool.
I hate
I
to
gotta clear my throat, but
bear bad news, but I'm really tired now. So that laughing kind of killed me.
I know, me too, dude.
Same.
You got drained.
Oh man.
So I'll talk to you all later.
All right. Any shout-outs before you leave?
No.
No?
I don't know. I can't think.
Too
of
tired?
any.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Puck, I love you.
See ya, Puck. Have a great night.
Yeah, see you.
Good
Bye.
night.
Night.
Thanks for stopping by. And breaking all my overlays. Ugh. This
I
again.
just wanted to quickly throw it on there too, because it's a lot of people that are just looking for a reason to take cheap shots at people. The racist stuff is like from my perspective. Luckily, I'm a white guy, so I don't really have to deal with that. But that's got to be the worst for you guys. Just because all they're doing is they're looking and they're trying to find things, and that's the most obvious thing out in front. I don't know how I would deal with it at all. So
Yeah, it's just
Like,
one of those
that's-
things that you just get used to it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not looking for sympathy, or I'm not looking for, poor me, because everybody gets abused, right? In some way,
No,
shape,
no, I
or form.
get
Whether it's a skin color, your sexuality, your appearance, whatever it is, right? You can have a fucking mole on your left cheek, and somebody will fucking point that out and say that it looks like a fucking shit mark or something, right? They'll do whatever
Yeah.
they'll do whatever they can to fucking, try and make you feel like a lesser of a person. It's just learning to cope with it, right? And luckily for me, I dealt with racism my whole life, and I dealt with a lot of haters my whole life because I've always been, a love-or-hate guy. But a big part of my problem is a combination of the hate and then my ego. Hey, look at me! I feel important. I have a lot of people that look up to me. I have a little bit of power, and my ego got the best of me too. So it's not just a matter of those people saying things. It's me getting in my own head, and it's just a combination of all those things. So like once I grounded myself a little bit and all that stuff, like still have an ego here and there because I'm the fucking boss master, and you gotta have some, you gotta know you got a big dick, right? But it's you gotta kind of watch it. It's like a fine line you gotta watch. There's like having an ego and being confident, like a confident ego, and then there's like being a dick.
Yeah.
It's like two different things.
I don't know. Just I know Nolder had a question for people to get like 10 to 40 people when they stream. Should they be kind of whoring out social media? I don't know how you feel about that for like small streamers, like pretty much everybody else. It's like Twitter for me is like, I think I have like 1,700 followers now, and it took a long time to slowly build up, but I think it's important if you are a smaller guy to get a Twitter and get people to start talking to you and messaging you and following you, that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
you don't want to have it like all the time, like, hey, follow me on Twitter, or like if you watch a guy stream on a regular basis and he gets out the sales pitch line, if you're enjoying the stream, make sure you hit the follow button.
Dude, I say that like 7 times an hour, man.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
Is that
I think it's
bad
very
that
important.
I say it so much, or is...
No, I think it's very important.
No, it's called staying on top. It's called networking. It's just the way it is. Like today, I've got like 120 new followers, and I wouldn't have got that. I wouldn't have got that many if I didn't say hit that follow button, 7 times an hour. Because
Yeah,
every
same,
time I
like-
say it, it's like 5 or 6 new people. It's people are constantly coming in and leaving, right? So
Yeah.
it's a matter of wowing them the moment they come in, and then getting them to, click that follow button.
Yeah, I mean,
Because there's a lot of people that enjoy, like, for instance, your stream, Jeff. I probably watched your stream 1,000 times before I actually followed you, just because, I'm lazy. A lot of people are lazy when they watch Twitch. If you don't remind them to follow you, they're not going to.
Well, it's the internet. Why would I have to touch anything? Oh, I have to click something?
That is the thing about the internet. You got to hand feed everybody everything. Go here, follow me here, click this link. Oh my god, you're too lazy to fucking copy and paste from the title? Alright, let me put it in the stream chat for you. Fuck. You know, people are just like, it's like they got nowhere to be. They're sitting there with their fucking 12-pack of Mountain Dew, kicking back, eating a bag of Doritos, sitting there for the last 8 hours, but yet they won't click a fucking link. You still need to spoon feed them everything. It's like, come on, man. Come on, help a brother out.
Toombs, don't take this the wrong way, but you totally look like a guy who enjoys a 12-pack of Natty Ice.
You're only 3 hours away. I'm just saying.
Toom is either drinking Mountain Dew or beer. All the time. It's like he should just have an IV of Mountain Dew that goes into his bloodstream.
I was drinking Maker's Mark the other night. I mean, come on. Every now and again I mix it up.
Question, Toom. Everybody knows when you play pool, you start off playing pool and you suck at a bar, right? Once you get 2 or 3 beers in, you kind of hit your sweet spot and you get a lot better. Does that apply for you in StarCraft, Toom?
Oh yeah, easily. I am amazing. I'm like grandmaster level when I'm drinking.
Can you say what you said something the other night about how to get out of tilt? Can you explain that one more time for everybody in the chat? You said something about when I'm on tilt, I just play through it until I spiral down into a deeper tilt, and then I keep losing until I hit rock bottom. At that point, I'm so tired I fall asleep and I wake and I'm off tilt.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I mean, that's basically it in a nutshell. God, I forgot I said that.
That sounds horrible. Oh my god.
So yeah, I mean, you know, you get a little on tilt. You know, you lost 2 or 3 games in a row, and it's like it's the same build. Even like you scouted it, you saw it. It's like this Tails DT build. It's so like everybody's doing it, and like you run into 3 Protoss in a row, and like okay, you scouted it the first time, and you were just a little bit late on your eBay or something, so your missile turrets didn't come up in time, or you didn't have the right placement, and they still got the DT in. And then the second game, you got it, and then whatever. So now you're 3 games down. You play somebody else that's a Terran, but now you're already on tilt. So you miffed your gas timing, and you can't get anything out on time. And like he comes over and he hellbat drops you, and you're like, but I was gonna do that first. And then okay, so now you just keep that rage. Like you keep feeding that fire, and like yeah, you might win a game, and it's like. All you have to say when you win that game so you can stay on tilt, because you got to stay on tilt. Like, once you're there, you got to stay, you got to, like, focus this tilt down really hard. You got to be like, I won that game, but man, he was so bad. Say something like that, you know, make sure that you, like, really feed into your rage. And then, you know, and then you go up against, like, a Zerg, and you're like, he shouldn't even have Lings. Like, why does he have these? Like, this is just stupid. Lings are fucking broken. Like, every time they just make these Lings, and they make like 1 million of them. Why do they get like 19 larvae per hatchery, and now they can just build whatever they want? They can build 19 fucking Ultralists. The money comes from nowhere. It's free. So then like you're just like now you're really feeling it. Now you're getting it, and like now you need to chat. Now you need to like maybe 100 people, 120, 200, 300 people in chat to be like, no, dude, you just need to like calm down. And you'd be like, no, you calm down. I'm fucking calm. We can be calm. You're gonna be calm. Just fucking, and then you time out everybody who says anything, right? So just you time them out, and you're like, you know what? Take 10 minutes. Take fucking 10 minutes, and you get some fucking manners. And then when you come back, then you know you say that shit again, you're gonna get a fucking ban. You want a ban?
Man,
no.
It sounds like I'm listening to a Tomb stream.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say. So that's an average Tombs night.
Now you're feeling it. Now you're good. Now you just get in there and you get some more games in there. Now it doesn't even matter what they do. You could win, you could lose. You get onto a tangent from like one game. Like you just take one game and you're like, man, he got a Colossus, and I fucking hate Colossus.
When I go on tilt, when I go on tilt, like when I lose 2 or 3 games in a row, that's like my middle tilt. And then I always do, once I do 2 or 3 games, I try and cheese a game to like get back in it. And then once I lose the cheese, and then after I lose the cheese, I go into another game, and then I play Zerg, and I go on fucking ultimate tilt even before the match starts because I hate Zerg. So today I lost 5 games in a row at one point. Okay? And that's like a tilt for me. So
yeah, but I go stay on that though. Like you got to take that one game from like 6 games back, and you got to keep talking about that. Like
yeah.
you're 6 games forward, and you're still talking about that guy who made that one Colossus.
Yeah. Like I have to literally trick myself. Like I always play through a tilt no matter what. I can never ever 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 leave a stream off tilt or on tilt. Ever. Never. I don't care if it's 6 a.m. If I had lost 3 or 4 games, I will play until I win 2 or 3 in a row.
I.e. Bashi.
Like, that is, yeah,
Oh my
Bashi.
fucking god.
So
Guys,
what
5 more
what
minutes.
I have to fucking, I have to literally go, Jeff, this is your last fucking game. And I say that, I go, that's it. If I lose the next one, I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done. And it's like reverse psychology. And then like the StarCraft gods never want me to stop playing StarCraft. So I'll get like the one guy that like has to go and like leave, or he'll get disconnected, or he just sucks, or I cheese and it works, and then I win that one game to keep me back on StarCraft, and then I'm back in it. But what I always find is when I go off tilt, I go on a fucking win streak. Like once I lose 5, I'll win like 5 back, like right away. It's really weird.
That's
it's a
always good,
mindset. Yeah,
It's the best way to get off tilt is when you're getting wrecked in a matchup and you keep losing all the time, and the guy disconnects or just leaves the game as soon as you enter it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
those
just
are always
instantly
nice.
like get the free win,
Yeah, it's
take it
nuts.
home, and then
Yeah.
right after you tend to have a good game. Obviously, you can't predict that, but
Yeah, that's like I want to be the Boshi, man. It's like
Dude, you
You
on
know-
Sonic? Oh my god, that day, like you're like, I'm watching and it's like, all right, guys, 5 more minutes and then I'm done.
That was
hell,
epic.
hell.
And
It
then
took
like
me
2.
10 hours, dude.
Oh, I know. 4 hours later, you're laying on the floor like, oh.
Oh yeah, man, it was glorious. I had never been so happy to beat a boss in my entire life. Like, Kayla came. Like, I do some crazy fucking shit during the day. Like, Kayla's parents have been here, and like they're upstairs, and they can hear some dude in fucking chainmail screaming his ass off. Like, just the world's craziest shit happens down in this basement on a daily basis. And Kayla's used to everything. Like, she'll have her friends over, and they'll go, "What the fuck is going on downstairs?" And Kayla like, "Oh, Jeff's just working." Oh, okay. But when I beat Sonic, Kayla came downstairs with the dog in her hand and the cat's at her feet, and they're all looking at me. The dog's ears are like fucking way back, scared for its life, because she literally goes, "What the fuck happened down here?" I like threw chairs. I was screaming and fucking. I don't even remember throwing the chair. It wasn't until I watched the video that I realized I threw a chair. So shit got real. So that was like the first time in a long time where Kayla actually looked at me and said, "You're fucking retarded," and just turned around and walked away. And don't think like this is how I normally act. Like when Kayla and I are driving in the car, like I'll be singing or doing some crazy shit, and she'll just randomly look at me. And she'll just go, "You're fucking retarded," and she'll honestly mean that shit. Like it isn't like, "Oh, you're retarded." She looks at me, she goes, "You're fucking retarded. You know that?" I go, yeah, I fucking know. She goes, "Okay, good, I love you, but you're fucking retarded." So, it's not just a stream thing; it's a real life thing.
I'm glad that you can work through your handicap here. That's it's good. It's good.
Yep. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get going. It's 2:30 in the morning here. I gotta get on the stream at an early time tomorrow. So thanks for having me on, and it was good times, guys.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah,
Thanks for stopping by.
excellent.
Any shout outs
Have a
before
good
you
one,
go?
I just want to give a shout out to my mom and dad for having sex and making me.
Nice.
Anytime.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, great times, guys. Excellent. A lot of fun.
I've yet to see the Sonic video, so I'm watching it right now.
Oh, that was awesome.
No, it's good.
The fucking share throw.
so
Hey, Filter,
back
real
to
quick.
Monty. What's up?
I just had a real quick question for you. Do people, because you seem like the nicest guy on the planet. Do people actually like BM you in your stream chat?
Rarely. It happens occasionally, but my stream chat is by and large like pretty well behaved. Even when it was up like at over 1,000 people on a couple of the runs, like my stream chat is usually really well behaved and nice. There's like the odd guy, like one guy, he was making me a little bit mad because he kept I can't remember what he was complaining about. I think he was saying that like Protoss was hard to play and all that stuff. So I was like, all right, hard to play. So I just played Protoss for one game, tried an Immortal Sentry all in, butchered all my force fields and lost. Then I don't think I banned the guy, but he pretty much shut up after that because it was like it wasn't really worth trolling me because at that point I'm like, all right, look, this shit is easy. I'll play Protoss. So I played Protoss for a game, butchered all my force fields. Was like, well, I butchered all my force fields, that's why I lost. I went back to playing Terran, and that was the extent of his trolling. But in general, like even in my chat, like I'm hard to BM or troll, too hard anyway. Because like people come in and they're like, "Oh my god, you're trash," and I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much." Huh. And then like half my stream chat is like, "Shut up, you don't know what you're talking about." So I have a lot of people that kind of like support you. Yeah, it's not. It's like TumeSense is getting his chat's getting way better. It used to be like even a couple of weeks ago when I first started watching him, it was like really bad. But lately, like I think even his own attitude's improved a lot too, right? Where it's like it's more of a joke when you get angry, right?
Mostly, yeah. I mean, it's
there's the odd one that's dead serious, but for the most part, it's more of a joke when you get mad now.
Yeah.
So your chat's improved a lot.
Well, not just that, but I mean, after he cleared all his mods, because there was a while there where we had like a lot of rogue mods, which just made the chat really edgy all the time because people were getting timed out randomly.
And I was trying to figure it out, and like I'd do that, like I'd like, all right, who's on, what's going on, and then and I'm playing a game, and then I'd start to get angry, and then I have like, ugh. So yeah, it always made it much worse. So. But, I try to have a better attitude. I've been trying to have a better attitude, and I mean like. I've been going through this divorce, and like now it's over, and it like every now and again there's like an issue that arises. Like a couple of weeks ago when I first moved in the house, I found out that she had left me with like this huge like gas bill, and it's like, oh sweet, yeah. So I was pretty on edge about that because it's like, you know, I don't just have like $900 to just like throw at a bill. It was like out of the blue. So
well, it's funny, like people in chat don't understand. You might have a bad day and not. You might be close to snapping anyway.
Yeah.
Just because things don't necessarily go your way, whether you're fighting with people or whatever it is, or like something like that happens. So I know, like for me right now, because I'm I'm just doing StarCraft. That's what I'm trying to do. But if I was still working like my Best Buy job and I came home after some of those days, like somebody would have been like, "Hey, Filter, how's it going?" I would have been like, "Oh, you get the out of my stream forever and leave, go home." I never want to see you again.
I still work for Geek Squad, actually. I didn't realize you worked for Best Buy.
I worked for Best Buy Canada for like 5 years.
Cool.
So, yeah, it was pretty good. I ran the computers department, which is pretty good.
Way,
but they started to shrink their upper staff and all that fun stuff. So it's like, all right, I'm out of here.
Tim, if I wanted to cook or hook my toaster up to my Wi-Fi, how would I do that if I contacted you on Geek Squad? Because I've been trying to hook it up, and I just don't know how. Could you walk me through the process? Because I just don't.
You know what? At this point, I wouldn't even be surprised if Best Buy charges $50 to go do that.
Yeah.
And they will they'll have a toaster in store for like $130.
No, but what Geek Squad will do is
when your toast is done, like it pops up on your Twitter. But if Geek Squad goes to set it up, it won't actually work properly.
Go set it up. This is what'll happen with Geek Squad. You'll bring your toaster in with your router, and you'll be like, "Here, can you hook it up for me?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, sure. Give it to us. You know, for $500, whatever." They won't even do the shit in store. They'll ship it out to the Indians or the Mexicans, and then they'll get it back, and you'll go pick it up. You'll be like, "Oh, okay, thank you. So you guys did this." They'll be like, "Yeah, here you go, sir. Yeah, $500."
They won't ship it out. It'll be Toom in his basement that sets it up, like remotely on over.
You guys, you're so brutal. So brutal.
No, you didn't answer my question. Like, how do I hook my toaster up to the Wi-Fi?
It'll be
what guys we had in my store were really good though.
It's $69.99, Imarine. $69.99.
Okay, look.
Get that set up for you.
Tell me, I will PayPal you the money. Just fucking please, man.
No, you gotta pay first, man.
All right, I just PayPal'd you $70. Now, how the fuck do you do it?
Sorry, it's the end of my shift. I gotta go.
We all love Irene. Yeah. Good night. Good night.
Irene. All right. I think it's this 2-hour show has probably reached its 2-hour point an hour and a half ago. So I should probably end it. I would assume. I'm aiming for 2 hours, and it ends up being like, I don't know.
That was great, the surprise guest tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Double surprise guest.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
So
I don't know how iMarine's webcam got so zoomed in either.
Oh, it's because I didn't fix his.
It looks
Screen
like in
region.
control right now.
Yeah. It's
I
the way
look
to
like
do
in
it.
control.
No, just the way that
Yeah,
his camera
in
angle.
control always does that, like the zoom in on his webcam.
Oh, I thought you meant like I. Because
No, he's
This will
way
make
better
you look like
looking.
in control.
I'm
No,
just kidding.
Better pizza, better ingredients. Popeye Marine.
are those VHSs? Yeah, I. That's a long story. Basically, like I have two bathrooms in my house, and like there's like these shelves, and the bathroom is like right behind me. So like if I don't put those, like I moved a shelf so that like no one just comes out of the bathroom like on stream because people in my family are stupid. So that's why that shelf is back there.
People just come out of the bathroom naked. Is that what you're trying to
Yeah,
say?
I mean my mom does it all the time, and it's fucking aggravating as hell. So that's
More
why
reason
that is
to-
there.
to look at it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Only in Texas.
Is anybody planning on doing streaming after?
Yeah, is anybody gonna stream after this? Because I'm gonna go to bed.
I might.
No, no,
Are
not
you
at
gonna
all.
stream Tomb or?
No, I'm going to bed.
I'm gonna play a little bit. Try to
Dude,
get on.
there's no sleep, dude. You have to stream after this. What the fuck?
I slept for 3 hours and then I woke up and then found out that I didn't sign up on time for the WCS, and then I went back to sleep for another 3 hours, and then
We need a
Alright.
24-hour stream right now. That's
Hey, how about
mandatory.
Tomb? How about this? After this little Saturday Night Pie thing, you should stream for like an hour and only cast iMarine PvP replays. Just like 3 of them.
yeah. I mean, are you gonna go against like a bronze player so you can win? or-
Yeah.
He has a good one. Imarine has a really good PvP.
Yeah.
That he should submit to lag. Oh, we should have told Jeff about that one, dude.
yeah.
Dude, that was awesome.
Oh yeah, well you had him.
Oh, yeah.
As a Terran player though, I was watching that and I was like, this is so boring.
Yeah, PvP
Dude,
is
that was
really
awesome.
fucked.
Like when I was
I'm like, I
casting
know it's a
the-
base trade and all, man, but the Terran like base trades with like a Doom drop with mass tanks in the background and stuff, way cooler.
Yeah, Terran base trades are awesome. Protoss base trades, not so much. We don't really care about
And
them.
then-
Reported,
Yeah.
sir. Reported.
Reported.
It was
Well-
an awesome game, but it's like I hate PvP, man.
Yeah, it's the
At least
worst
it wasn't a
matchup.
ZBZ. Like that would have been the worst. A ZBZ base trade with like
We don't even pretend like that's
What the
even
heck?
like ZVZ
Not a-
isn't even
that's
supposed
not
to
a thing.
happen. That's not even a game that's supposed to happen. The game should be Terran versus Zerg, and that's it. We should remove Protoss. We should just
should have said that before when you had Puck and
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that would have been better timing. Yeah, just remove
Yeah.
Protoss completely. We just need Terran and Zerg, and there's no mirror match allowed in the Zerg versus Zerg area. And I think
Yeah.
StarCraft is fixed. I think we
I
fixed
like
StarCraft.
skipped eating food because I didn't quite get it in before the start. Because some of them
Oh.
asked me to go now, but
Whoops.
like everybody else.
Yeah.
If you guys want to find me, you can find my twitch.tv. It's just twitch.tv/filtersc. You can see my Twitter is @filterstarcraft. And if you want to check me out on YouTube, I do a lot of Terran-based tutorials to kind of show you how to play. And like Jeff mentioned and Puck mentioned, like a huge part of the game is mechanics, and that's kind of what the focus of my tutorials is. So if you haven't heard of me, go check out youtube.com/filtersc. Show the link in chat, and I'll tell you how to beat all these terrible Protoss players,
Nice.
especially Montezuma.
Yeah, Montezuma's trash.
Banned, sir. Banned.
Trash.
He's absolute trash.
When I get banned, piece of shit.
Have a good one, man. Thanks for having me
Alright.
on. It was a good
Thanks,
See you,
Filter.
Filter. Yeah, I guess I'll head out now.
Yeah, I think we're gonna end it here
Alright.
because it's been like almost 4 hours. I can't math.
Yeah, this was I can't math. That must be an Illinois thing.
Yeah.
Get your shit straight, son. So
Uh,
I'll give my shout out real quick. I just thanks for having me on here. Give a big shout out to some mods I have, Crow Sniper, Joey. They've been patient. Big shout out to JM, the big one and only John Madden, who's got that swole. And you can follow me, Montezuma SC2, Twitch TV.Montezuma. Somebody linked it there. Big shout out to iMarine, Lynchkin, Tooms, Filter, Puck, Jeffrey, Make sure you follow all of them. Make sure you follow iMarine and Tooms, especially, and Filter. Good peeps.
Hold on 1 second. Toom, you are like the worst at overlays. Like, what are you doing right now? Like, just like, what in the actual fuck is going on with your overlay?
It had to. Whatever. Leave me alone.
Dude, I mean, seriously, how does it even?
Do you not
happen
understand how
without you doing it on
Skype
purpose?
works? Have you never been on
I
the?
get it, but you don't move it at all.
You have to move it.
Yeah, you kind
No,
of.
you don't.
Yes, you do. You have to move it.
I think Tooms is right on this one.
You
Coombs,
don't.
I love you too.
You don't even exploit. Go watch State of the Game when somebody jumps on and jumps off. It works the exact same way. You've never seen this because you don't pay attention because you're a Protoss player. Now learn.
Okay.
Learn
You know
what's going
what,
on.
Sir?
Okay, that was the last straw. Toom.
where is the applaud button on this thing? God damn, that was beautiful.
Oh crap. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Being Protoss means that you get to coast in life. It's all right. I understand.
Excuse me, Mr. Kim, David Kim. We have some BM, sir. All right, guys, I'm heading out. May go play a little bit. Not sure, but it's been fun. See you guys.
See ya.
All right, see you later, Monty.
See you,
What do
Monty.
you got? I'm.
You guys can follow me on Twitter at iMarineTV. You can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/iMarineTV. I'll post it in chat. What I generally do in the community is I pretty much commentate all of my games, regardless of if it affects my gameplay, and that's what I do at a mid-masters level at the moment. I also give out free coaching to any gold to diamond Protosses on Saturday, which I was going to do today, but I was in the WCS qualifier and I made it to the losers round of 3. So, also I'd like to thank Toom and Monty and Lynch and Jeff and Puck and everyone else that was on the show. Tonight was pretty fucking awesome.
You're welcome.
And yeah, that's about it.
As for me, I'm just gonna say follow me on Twitter. I tweet a lot of stuff. I'm really excited for HOTS to run and see where it goes. I don't stream, but as soon as I get rid of my MacBook, I will be streaming quite often. Yeah, that's really it. Do make sure that you follow TumescentPie, and all of the links and everyone that came on the show. It was really fun. Really thankful that I got on here, being a noob and all, but still, thanks a lot, guys, and thank you, Tooms.
Well, thanks for everybody that showed up on the stream today, especially everybody that that was able to make it ahead of time with the
Wow, this overlay is just deteriorating. Like,
yeah,
really
it is.
fast.
I'm done with the overlay.
Holy
Skype,
fuck, man.
Skype is giving me some problems. It's not even doing video anymore. I'm done with it. So we're just going back down to bare bones. It's all right. That's where we're at now.
All right.
So anyway, yeah, I guess final shout out to like all of the surprise guests and everybody that was able to show up today. Obviously a shout out to my team, Eternity Gaming. You can find us at eternity-gaming.org. Our sponsors, Ozone, Gorilla Lol, Esports, Clothing, and Raid Call. So anyway, thanks for watching Saturday Night Pie, and if you guys want to check it out next week, we should be back with more interesting people. Hopefully iMarine is busy, so he can't show up.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, one less Protoss player.
Right. But anyway, yeah, if you want to be on the show, definitely send me a message on Twitch or YouTube or wherever. All right, have a good night. Thanks for watching.